two. He's going to go for the knock, goes for the roll down, and he's spotted Serviel. Looks for the clip, but he's not going to be able to get it. Jumps out instead, but goes down. Moving forward, trying to get a better position, using his focus advantage. Drives straight in. Out instead, but goes down. Now it's just Mortal alive. Poor Soul in a 1v1, but he cannot do it.
Hello everyone, and once again welcome back to PMCO 2020 Spring Split South Asia Semi-Finals, and this is day number 4. We are down the first 3 days, and once again we restart the groups with A and B going at it again. My name is Varun Super Johnny John, being joined on the desk by Ocean Sharma.
Yes, and as you said, the days are restarting once again. The history is kind of repeating itself when we are going for the groups, as A and B are gonna fight, are gonna go head to head once again, but with one little change, and the change is the points are set, so they know what improvement they need to do. And one more thing. The first date was Weekendy, and today, if I'm not wrong, it's going to be Miramar thing, so that is going to be one thing. We're going to come to the schedule later on, but then these are the points, ladies and gentlemen. You know, 20 points, they matter a lot. Even 14 points matters a lot, and 1 point for 11 to 16, that is one thing, but it matters out that how many kills you have at the end. Kill also gives you 1 point.
Yeah, kills give you points, kills boost up your placement at the end of the game, but let's have a look at the groups that will be playing and which teams you have to look out for. Nepali Ho Ni, INES, Team Xtreme, Team Hype, Rivals X, Wolves Den, KS Sax in Group A. Group B, it's going to be Trusty Process, Rivals, Rising Nepal, Elementrix, Damn Classy, Deadeyes Guy, Jyanmaara, Vibes, and KTM Rage. Group C consists of A1 Esports, PN Gaming, Salty Squad, Team Pyro, Team T2K, Ultimate Bang, 1971 Gladiators, and R3D Devils. So Group C is not going to be playing, but from Group A, interesting teams are coming in, and this is going to be the schedule. We start off with Erangel, moving on to Sanhok. Then we have Miramar, as Ocean said, today replacing Weekendy, and we end the day with Erangel once again. So first and the last game are going to be played on the same map, and we have seen that sort of set up a weird situation wherein first game of Erangel, teams will just go YOLO and anything can happen, and in the second game of Erangel, everything is just slowed down.
Yeah, I mean that's one thing. You know each other's game styles, each other's presence in the first game, and then in the fourth game, the teams that are at the downward area, probably they just want to go a bit passive so that they don't get targeted much. The target happens both the ways. The teams that are playing in the middle, they can target the teams that are going up top just for their strategies, so that their strategies can improve. And the teams that are actually at the downward area, they have to play safe so that they don't get targeted, as they might be an easy kill opportunity for the team.
Yeah,
for
that might happen, but talking about teams on the downward side of the tables, let's have a look at the overall standings and see how teams are doing, where they stand, because Rising Nepal right now are sitting quite comfortably on the first spot with 122 points for themselves. On the other side, INES is quite close. They are on the second position with 117 points for themselves. PN Gaming is third with 113 points. R3D Devils, they are fourth with 109. Xtreme is going to be fifth, 101 points. Gladiators, 1971 Gladiators, they are going to be sixth with 100 points for themselves. Deadeyes Guys are going to be seventh with 88 points. And Team 7C, they are going to be eighth with 81 points. So massive drop comes between 1971 Gladiators and Deadeyes Guides. Above, from there on out, like 1971 Gladiators, they have one good game, they can actually jump all the way to the first position if the other team sort of fumble up. But moving on to the next 8, we have Trusty Process on the 9th position with 79 points. Jyanmaara is going to be 10th with 76. Nepali Ho Ni is going to be 11th with 75. Rivals X is going to be 12th with 75 as well. Team Hype, they are going to be 13th with 69 points. Team T2K, they are going to be 14th with 63 points. Salty Squad is going to be 15th with 58 points. And Damn Classy, they are going to be 16th with 55 points.
I mean, so far it has all been good for the teams that are in the middle table. But let's talk about one thing out here. I mean, A1 Esports is not playing today.
Yeah.
So they have, I mean, they can go down, but KSX, this team, it kind of needs to step up its game
Yeah,
if it
definitely.
can, and that's going to be one of the most important things. Elementrix, a name that no one would want to see in this table.
Yeah.
They are out there. KTM Rage, they had some good games. Ultimate Bang had some good games. Vibes had some good games, and they actually, just rose up a bit of their points. But then, which team is going to go up, and if a team still remains in this table at the end of the day, that is going to be a question that will be answered, but obviously post-match 16 or something.
Yeah, post-match 16, that is when we will find out who is going to be making it into the finals of PMCO 2020 Spring Split South Asia stage, and that is going to be incredible because right now your objective should not be to stay on the top of the table. Like the minimum, like, all right, staying on top is going to matter. It's going to give you a boost in your morale for your team. But what is important is keeping in mind that the objective right now is going to be just to be in the top 16 and qualify for the finals place, where you will actually have to perform really, really hard and grind it out to win the prize money and to go for the slot in the Pro League.
Yeah, I mean, imagine from 11,000, 12,000 teams, the amount of teams that actually register for the tournament, it's a lot.
Yeah.
When you see the number of registrations that come up, they're like 10,000 teams, 11,000 teams. So even 10,000 teams means 40,000 players registered. If we are talking about the playing players, not the substitutions and all.
Yeah.
So 40,000 players. From all that, from those 10,000 teams, we come up to top 32 teams. From that, we come up to top 24 teams. From that, we come up to top 16 teams. And after that is when you go for the next stage, that is PMPL or maybe World League. If you have your eyes set on the global trophy or something. So this journey, it's a lot. It gives you a lot of experience. It takes a lot of your game from you. But then at the end, you are learning something, even if you can't make it to that mark of top 16. But that is an important thing. Top 16. If you reach there, I mean, it changes a lot of things for a lot of people, a lot of players, their brain coordination also changes. That these are the people who take this game extra seriously for them.
Yeah, because even right now, I think even in the semifinals, where in the top 24 from the group stages are playing, teams are still going to be experimenting with some things. And finals, where the top 16 are going to play, is where no one takes chances. And talking about taking chances, we have the first game live right now on Erangel, the trajectory starting from Lipovka, heading over to the military base area. So Mansion is going to be there, Prison is right underneath the trajectory, Milta is going to be available, Pochinki School, Yasna Poliana is going to be available as well. On the other side, Novo is going to be available, military base is going to be there, Primorsk, Ferripier, and if you are feeling adventurous, you can head over to the side of Everest and take control of Georgiapur.
Some teams might go there, but NHN is making up its drop in the early stages. As they like to go to Stalberg, Split. Let's see if they're going to go for that area. And talking about one team that goes to Everest, Hype actually stays up at that area when the fights are happening, when the fights actually start. We'll see where Hype goes right now. But then Rising Nepal, the team that just got 23 points yesterday, would like to take 23 in one match tomorrow, because that is going to be a big boost. If they go for it, we'll have to see what happens. Hype is going for a drop. DC is going for a drop. INES is what I see.
They go to Novo,
Yeah, they are going for Novo, but then they can be contested by Rising Nepal. But I think right now Rising Nepal is going for a Milta drop, and no one is contesting them in that area, which seems like a good thing. TX on the Pochinki-ish side, or the southern side of Pochinki. So we'll have to see what the teams actually go for. And this is your map, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see, all the teams that are dropping and that have dropped. Look at 7C. 7C is still going for Primos, but that is so outside the circle right now. The circle favors Pochinki, School, Milta, Shelter, Farm, all these good and big areas. Let's see how the rotations happen, or if the bridges will be contested or something.
Bridges should be contested. I mean, it's a good area to rack up some kills, just because once again, as I said a couple of days ago, you never want to fight in a corridor. Bridge is sort of a corridor, because on the other side you have water. If you dive down, you're going to be vulnerable. You will be killed off. On the other side, on the bridge, there is some cover. So if you're on point with your aim, if you're on point with your mechanics, you can actually contest it and try to fight it out. But for the other side, the teams that are going to be camping the bridge, it's going to be like shooting fish in a barrel, basically.
Yeah, that's like one of the things that sometimes happens, sometimes don't happen. We'll have to see what happens. But then right now, INES, it's a good team. It's sitting on the second position right now, right? So we'll have to see, can they contest the first position? I mean, the difference is not that much. They can go for it. And I think there's going to be bad KTM Ramos. Oh, he was trying to go on these players of DE. But I think, yes, Shifu sir, he'll take a buggy as well out of this fight. And let's see what happens as the first blood has been drawn in the kill feed. And obviously, they would like to finish him as well.
Yeah, they will definitely go for the finish on Ramos, and the first player being taken out of the game before we even hit the 3-minute mark. I mean, it has been sort of a trend on Erangel with these teams from South Asia, wherein they will drop close to someone they actually see coming in and then just pick up a vehicle and try and drive over them. That usually happens when you see teams drop in an open area where they're trying to go in for those long-range rotations. But this time around, that backfired because the person you were trying to drive over had his teammate who had a gun on him, and he just finished KTM Ramos over there. So 63 players in the game live right now, and heading over towards the side of Yasna Poliana, we have Vibes who actually could be contested by the team TDP. TDP, they have had an amazing performance so far. I mean, groups, they did really well. This time around, they are sort of struggling. But once again, I come back to my point, as I said during the pregame. Some teams will be looking to experiment. Oh, DE not looking good. Shifu, sir, he got one kill, but he was killed off by the side of Wolves. What just happened right there?
Yeah, these kinds of things, they should not be happening. But yeah, it sometimes happen, and that obviously feels kind of pretty weird and all. But then we'll have to see what happens as Wolves. See, Wolves is ready for a fight. They are contesting DE on their landing, dropping location, and DE, they put out the first knock of the game. But then will that be enough, as they will be looking for other fights to happen as well? Wolves Dictator trying to take up the top TPP from near that roadside area, trying to give up the directions for Wolves Newty and Ironic to move, as well as Wolves 6-9 is also trying to move, but Illusion Sir and Rated Sir on the other side, and also one player that they don't know is on their side as well. Will that fight happen or not? We'll have to see, as Dictator is... Look at Dictator's position. He can just spot players and tell his players to shoot at them, and he won't be spotted in this whole scenario as well. But Illusion Sir and Rated Sir, they have a good area. Had a high ground advantage, but right now as Illusion Sir is on the backside, and Rated Sir, I think he's going to go. And that's going to be an easier and better thing, as Rated Sir and Illusion Sir just moving out of here. Will they be stopping out in this area, as the shots have been fired on Illusion Sir? Low on health, can use the painkiller right now in a moving vehicle. Will try to make the most out of it. And I think they are going to go away and loot in some other direction. Wolves won the fight of mentality right now.
Yeah, that is definitely going to be a mental fight between these two teams. And as you said, Wolves actually won it, forcing DE to actually get out of there and disengage from this entire situation, taking control of the entire area in their favor. But talking about taking control, I think Vibes, they are disengaging as well. They do not want to fight it out in the early stages, especially against a squad like TDP, because that could actually be risky. Once On Top gets on top of a high ground, he is going to start destroying your team. And Vibes, they are backing off slowly. Zarad, Anik, and Knight trying to climb up that hill. That could be vulnerable, because once again, they are going to be quite exposed while going up the altitude. So they have to be careful as to how they do it. And one of the ways that they are doing this right now is by leaving Red Eye still in the apartment. But on the other side, Rival, Slayer, and Noob being spotted by the players from the side of Hype. Gurkha has taken down Noob. He has been dropped, but Slayer is gonna manage to get away somehow. Now Gurkha, he is gonna go for the finish on Noob, but Noob is hiding behind that car, that Jeep over there. So the only position that this puts Gurkha in is either blow up the vehicle and waste a lot of ammo, or he can actually go in the open area and go for the finish, which is going to be risky, because Slayer on the other side could have laid a trap, left his teammate there, gone to a different location, and is going to be watching this probably, but we don't see him around. I think he just left Noob as a bait, or basically as a sacrificial lamb.
I mean, probably that can be one of the things that it's a player's strategy if they want to go for it, they just want to do it. And meanwhile, Hype Squad, they had a good run in one of the games, as they won the game, but then could not end up at the first position. As you know, the kills of PN Gaming were much more than them, so that was one of the things that they can actually go for. And Gurkha YT is trying to spot his opponent. Obviously, Rivals would not like to go as close as to him, but now I think with his buggy, he would like to go and finish him. If he does it, that can be a good thing. And this UAS is one thing that he can take, but not anymore, as the tires have been burst up. So that's one of the things. He finishes him, and the team gets one kill. And meanwhile, KS, is looking out here. See, KS is here, and then
Yeah.
Wolves is in Rozhok. If Wolves come up to that hill of Rozhok, they can spot some KS players as KS, Mehraj, and Harid, and Sanox, obviously. They are in this topmost area. One shot, if it plays its card right, one shot can actually take one of their players down, and that damage done. See, not even if they want to charge, but the damage done is always a
Yeah.
damage done.
Definitely, you can give the team, if you give the entire team a significant amount of damage, you can rush into school when they are busy trying to heal themselves. So that is going to buy you window for the rush coming in. But on the other side, it is going to be easy for the side of KS to actually contest anything that is going to be thrown at them. And right now, Vibes, they have somehow managed to get away from Yasla Poliana, moving on to the high ground. And once again, keeping a watch on the entire area, because by now teams would have studied where each team likes to drop and how they like to rotate, and TDP, they have been going in that general direction for quite some time now. So that is one thing that's going to be expected. On the other side, Nepali Ho Ni coming in with a split rotate. Gole and Reaper OP moving in from Stalber towards the side of Yasna. On the other side, Vcash and Lakhe OP have decided to stick towards the bank of the island. But once again, the circle, the blue zone is closing in. It's going to make contact with the play zone and the next circle shift. Yesterday, there were insane shifts on Weekendy. Like the circle would go north once and then move towards the southern extreme. But now it is decided to stick in the center. Farm is going to be there. Milta is going to be available. Players can rotate to Mansion or Prison as well. But JM, Elementrix, TX, Rising Nepal, all of them have already made it and are going to try and contest the center area of the circle. On the other side, we do see Reaper and Gole in close proximity to Vibes. But will Vibes actually go in and contest this? Will Vibes try and pick a fight with Nepali Ho Ni? We have to see. We will try and find that out. Lakhe OP actually stops his vehicle far off in the distance. You see the car there. That was Reaper. Okay, Reaper has gotten down. He has, yeah.
Reaper is down right now. I think if anything, they just want to spot some players and pop some heads. If they find an opportunity and they would like to go for it, Gole is also out there. They need to get to the zone as well. And Vibes Red Eye, I mean, this was a team that had a decent-ish run yesterday. Why they got eliminated pretty early in the first match. They were one of the first teams to get eliminated out there, but then they had to take the fight in their hands and they had to go for it. They tried to go for it. But one of the things is right now that they don't have a vehicle in their close proximity and have to get into the zone. That is 900 meters. Meanwhile, KS has made a move. They are making a move into the zone, I mean, but slowly and steadily. Right now, previously, school was inside the zone. They just made a move to the next area, that is the apartments, as now apartments are supporting the zone. And KTM, Warhead, still trying to find up a good area inside the circle if they can go for it. And they have spotted some players right in the upward direction that they were going for. And I think these houses can support them for a while if they're going for it, but this houses cannot, as Hype Squad was right up front of them. Can they take the fight out there as KTM Warhead was moving right in front of Hype? As you can see in the minimap, he has spotted his vehicle there. He has stopped the vehicle out there. Can Hype Squad find him? Can Hype Squad actually find a way to distract the player? And look at this, the pay vehicle. This skin is one of the dopest skin out there, to be honest.
Yeah, it is pretty dope, and it is pretty exclusive as well. You have the jacket of this one, right?
Have the real jacket.
Yeah, you have the real jacket. And
jacket
Ocean
PUBG.
is one of the OGs of PUBG Mobile.
I love PUBG for some reasons. They give me good gifts.
I have actually learned a lot by watching your videos as well. So, because Ocean, once again, game sense level is on the next level, but we have to see if the teams, what are they thinking right now? Because breaking this down right now in the semi-finals is going to be pretty interesting. Elementrix once again went in for an early rotate from the military island, and military island, as we talk about the military base, it is quite a big area. You can actually find a lot of stuff in there, but if you are not like giving it that much time, if you are not investing time into actually looking, going through the entire place and looking for stuff, you might miss out on some really good loot.
I mean, yeah, that is like one of the things. It all depends on how you want to, accumulate your utilities, your loot, your usage, and your calls as well. As the calls are going to be out there. Rain itself is trying to spot some players and pop some shots, and he for now has not done it. I don't think so. And Illusions was also looking in that direction. TX, on the other hand, Team Xtreme, kind of working out their decent gameplay right now in the game, but then they have Hype Squad really, really close to them. Rising Nepal can take a fight with INES, and if that happens in the melt area. I would like to see both the teams, Rising Nepal and INES, because they are at the first and the second position. The airdrop has an AUG with a suppressor, AR, and level 3 kit, that is helmet vest, and obviously, a backpack as well. But if anything, this is also at the edge of the zone, and the zone shrinks in less than 45 seconds. The third zone is going to come, and we are 12 minutes and 50 seconds into the game right now as we are talking. So we'll have to see with the circle shift. This is one thing, ladies and gentlemen. See, Rising Nepal is out here.
Yeah.
INES is out there. The players of Rising Nepal are kind of low on health. We'll have to see what happens in the fights. But then 7C Hades takes down DC Sensei as we are talking, and would also like to finish him. Does that in an easy way. Hype Squad takes up the fight with Team Xtreme and pops up the head of Kazi. 7C. Once again, this is a famously infamous area for South Asian teams, as this is the fourth time the circle is ending up in this direction.
Yeah, the cliffs have been the demise of a lot of teams, but now, so 7C, they are waiting for teams to close in and try and come in towards the play zone through that direction so that they can wipe them out already before they actually try and pick up the fight. On the other side, once again, the circle right now is like 30% in the water, so you have to be careful. But Team Xtreme engaging in a fight with Nepali Ho Ni are gonna drop Reaper out of the game, putting Nepali Ho Ni in a really bad situation. On the other side, Wolves once again having control of those 4 compounds, but Badrev
has been stolen by INES Badrev. I mean, the way
he is sitting on first position.
If it works, it works. KS3 goes for Vibes Anek and pops him down, and then Vibes Deadeye with that AKM Glacier actually goes for KS50 with that Uzi takes down Vibes Zerad. Vibes versus KS. This is happening, and one of the teams can get eliminated if anything. KS50 also pops up Vibes Zerad and just finishes him with that Uzi. That was an incredible thing. And TX goes for Lakhe OP. His health is kind of down right now, but then that won't be the end of it. He will pop up a first aid and would like to go for the fight once again. And the plane was moving in forward, but then this is one of the areas where the circle can actually shift for. I mean, DE is kind of at a safe spot right now, but let's see what happens when the circle actually comes.
Yeah, they have to be careful. They are quite safe because of the compounds they are in, but on the other side, DC was there as well. They can engage upon DC just because DC are quite exposed in the open area, in the open field that they are in. But INES just stealing away that free kill on Reaper. That was just incredible from Badrev. And now Gole is in the crosshairs of Machine, but the shots not gonna connect this time. KS Meraz is gonna be dropped from the game. Another interesting fight going on over there. But
TDP on top actually took him down, and when TDP comes up for the fight, they go for the fight, and Meraz will be finished easily. No need for grenade right now, but yeah, if you just want to create panic and havoc, you can go for it, and that grenade is gonna do some damage. It did, but it did not pop him up. I mean, you can go for a kill as well. The SLR coming in handy right now, and then Meraz, the shots are hitting the car, and Meraz is still trying to survive, but then not anymore, as Puffy goes for it and just finishes him in an incredible way. I mean, SLR is a really incredible gun, to be honest. If you know to use it, SLR is Scout's one of his favorite weapons.
No, Scout can play with anything. The man is a beast.
Yeah, he's an incredible beast, to be honest. There are a few players out there in the India segment, and they play incredibly well. And Scout obviously is one of those players.
Yeah.
And let's talk about one thing. See, we have this WhatsApp group.
Yeah.
And that is known as Chill Zone Apna.
I've heard about it.
Yeah, and we just, we sit every day, we just talk about good things and good stuff, and just the friendship just ruling all over in those areas. So it's a huge shout out to that group as well. We talked about Scout, and so he's also in that group. So it's a huge shout out to that group, to be honest. But
that sort of brings me up to the topic of mechanical skill. We have talked about for the past couple of days having good game sense, having a good mentality when you're playing competitive. But mechanical skill, look at this. Once more dying by your own car.
That's kind of bad. But INES, just look at that movement. They were really, really close to the team of TX and Rising Nepal and INES. I think they are heading for a one-on-one fight, and if that happens, that's going to be really bad because their cars were fairly close to each other. Wives Knight takes on Wolves Dictator with that AKM headshot, and Hype Squad, they know that there are people around there. And Alex Reddy takes on INES Tier 7C. Masquerade takes on INES Machine. INES in a bit of a trouble right now as the fights are starting, and a grenade from TX Demon takes on Rivals Trigger and Divine. 2 players down, and Elementrix Mr. Hyoju takes down INES INES here. INES can make an early exit right now.
But look at this, look at this. JM Wang coming from behind, Rising Nepal right in front of him. Steelix OP is stuck in that bunker. He has nowhere to move. But Rising Nepal, they spot the players from the side of Jyanmaara. This could get intense at any moment on the other side. Lanka is going to get one more player for himself. One more kill going to the man. DC Atom, he is going to engage on Vibes Red Eye. And Vibes Knight was dropped as well. And the second team being eliminated is going to be...
First was Rivals X and second it's Wolves. Now then Team T'Challa just the car has been obliterated.
I want to focus on this man.
Yeah, TC Steelix OP, the guy that is just sitting out there because he cannot see. He can wait. JM and RN take a fight. He can wait and he can pop some heads. Vibes gets out there and it's 13 teams left, 41 people alive. Look at Lucky OP's health. He's really low on HP right now. And 7C is taking a fight with DE. Once again, they just want to fight. They want to end up this fight. And these teams, you see, each and every team has fought with each other. And TC Blind, look at that, look at that, look at that. 6 times scope coming in handy right now, but then so many shots were taken down, but then they are not stopping. Just one more shot and Elementrix, actually Poo Man takes him down and now they have a chance of stealing the kill, but will they be able to do that? Poo Man takes down DC Atom as well. So he has spotted out 2 players and INES Badre, the lone survivor from INES, standing out there as Rising Nepal took down all the other kills from INES and DC Atom. The kill can be stolen, but then TDP, look at this, TDP is also on one side. TDP is ready to take up a fight. They have cars for themselves, they have cars for their covers, but will they be able to take a fight as Jyanmaara and Rising Nepal and Steelix OP as well, just surviving out there. His players are going down by play zone. And he's just sitting out there, surviving for his team. He was away from his team.
Yeah, he's just standing there, not even moving. And he is forced to do that because he knows there are players around him. He knows there are 2 teams around him. And by now, I think with the free look from his third person's perspective, he should have spotted the players from the side of TDP as well. TDP, they are just waiting for JM and Rising Nepal to actually engage in combat right now so that they can come in for the third party. They can come in for the backstab. But Sonam from the side of Rising Nepal has taken a lot of damage from Sonim with that DP. But now he has to be careful. 3 squads being eliminated right now. We are down to 13 teams, but 38 players in the game. So a lot of teams have lost their comrades this time. Jyanmaara taking control of this entire situation. Rising Nepal were a little bit too slow and Jyanmaara just forced them out. But Rising Nepal, once again, being the first one to rotate, is going to put JM, DC and TDP in a bit of trouble unless JM actually land those long-range shots and drop some players from the Rising Nepal squad, opening up basically the entire area and the entire rotation for everyone behind them.
Hype SK49 takes down NHN Lucky OP. Nepali Ho Ni gets eliminated with that as Hype SK49 gets his kill and Hype the Leon takes down NHN Vcash. Just finishes NHN Gole as well. So Hype has a lot of kills, but KTM Warhead has been taken down out here by Elementrix's players, if I'm not wrong, as Orange goes up for him and Jyanmaara's Wang trying to spot some players, but then he'll have to lie down as Jokodoku is also low on health and so is JM Wang. Look at On Top. On Top is going for a flank that no one actually knows right now. Illusions has been taken down and TDP Utsaka has fallen by the hands of JM Gunner. Jokodoku goes down by JM Sonim. Jyanmaara is ready for a fight and they are taking. No one is still finding DC Steelix OP in all of these fights. TDP's On Top is the lone survivor who is flanking through water, but can he just find out? Steelix OP out there. He is rushing. He is rushing. He can spot the players of Jyanmaara and that will be the end of 2 players out there, but no one still spots him. Steelix OP is ready for a fight. KTM Rage gets eliminated. His Warhead also goes down. 7C versus DE Rated Sir. 3 versus 1 situation. Going in with the grenades on the panic room and Rated Sir is taking TPP on the upper edge. KS50 takes down Hype SK49. Hype Prototype is also down by 2 M16 shots. Third person down of Hype by Elementrix's Mr. Hyozu. That is incredible, but Rated Sir once again low on health, was spotted on some other area. Gurkha, he'll have to take this fight. Spots Ifty, but then he also goes down and Ifty on those 20 HP, 40 HP right now trying to take that fight. And Rising Nepal Sunam's grenade takes down 2 players from TX as well. Look at them, they are just lying out there in the open.
They have to be careful this time around, but once again, TDP, they were in trouble. The fact that On Top actually got away is going to be their saving grace in this game. But Ray from INES is not going to stack up not going to stop racking up kills for himself. Damn classy being eliminated from this game once again. And Rated Sir, he has to be careful.
On Rated Sir, but still he is safe right now. He's just trying to save his life as much as he can. The zone is coming. See, with this zone coming, no one is going to go for the overcommitment. I don't think so. They are going to go for the overcommitment. He is safe right now, but for how long, we'll have to see what happens. And that is going to be one of the things as 7Z, Hades, Musky Whitey and Arus, 3 players, they are going for grenade once again. The red zone being created, the fake red zone out out there on the upper edge, but will that make a difference as Rated Sir is still ready for his opponents? 7C's Maski, Aruz and Hades, 3 players, they are ready. See, if Rated Sir just comes out of this house, they'll be ready for it, but still we have some time, 30 more seconds, ladies and gentlemen, 20 more seconds, sorry, for him to come out. If he comes out, 3 players are ready for him. 3 players are ready to take the fight. TDP gets eliminated on 10th position. We are down to 9 teams and 19 players, but this one player, can he pull up a miracle out there? A grenade just comes in, a smoke comes in for 7C. Aruz and Gunner goes down by TX captain. Kazi also takes on JM Wang. JM Gunner gets eliminated out there. So I think TX is ready for a fight, and Team Xtreme is going up to its extremities to take up all the fights in their hands, as the team has 7 kills, 2 players remaining. Jyanmaara gets eliminated, but 7C versus DE. Look at this. DE Rated Sir taking out the zone damage. The 6th circle is going to damage a lot. Takes down Aruz, but still he is safe right now. Can he pop up first hit? Will he be able to do it? But I think he's going to take a kill in his hand, and he goes down by the demise of the zone. Incredible gameplay by this guy. He does not give up his skill, and Maske YT has also fallen short by Elementrix's Shagar. Elementrix, who wants to make a desperate comeback right now, has 6 kills, all 4 players intact. Can they pull off a miracle right now? That's going to be an important one.
Yeah, that is definitely going to be an important factor, but Poo Man cooking up that nade. Could he take down the kill from KSFT? He was quite low, heals up to 75% health, but the nade is going to overshoot and not going to do anything. Once again, this is a little bit too far away, buddy. On the other side, Shagar with that M4 is going to try and catch Badrev off guard. The shots being missed, but he spots out the players from the side of Rising Nepal, and now he's trying to flick between the 2 teams at the same time. Elementrix, they were the first one to rotate in the circle. If he's right next to them, Dalion is right next to them. Mr. Yozu drops to 50% health. He has to be safe. They have cars in front of them. 2 of them have been blown up, but the 3rd one is still alive and could actually be the cause for their demise. But once again, 7C Hades all alone, KSFT all alone, Dalion all alone, and these 3 solo players are right in the crosshairs of Elementrix. Orange, he is looking to be a little bit adventurous, but that is going to be risky business for himself. On the other side, Rising Nepal, they spot out a player with a 3rd-person perspective from that small window, but not going to have the opportunity to actually land some shots on that guy. On the other side, Badrev is going to be spotted as well, and coming out of the shed, the contact being made, and Poo Man is going to get the kill on INES Badrev.
Skill from one circle edge to the other circle.
Rising Nepal, they were right there.
He stretched up the whole diameter to take the circle. That was incredible. Like, he can spot players out there, but the Dalian is right in front of him, and he's not spotting him. What kind of sorcery is this? And I think Shagar has spotted one more player that is in first, and Sonam, can he take up a shot? One shot is going to mean a lot out there, as it does a lot of damage, and he actually does some damage onto him, but still he'll stay safe. Mr. Hyozu is trying to spot some players on his left, as FT is out there. Grenades are coming in handy. They can spot some players, but then they are not spotting some players. After this, the best thing is the zone is on them. The zone is on Elementrix's squad, and Team Xtreme gets eliminated. 5 teams remaining, ladies and gentlemen. Team 7C Hades solo. Surviving solo for the team right now. We'll have to see, as Elementrix is good with 4 players. Can these 4 players pull off that miracle? Has 9 kills. They have 9 kills for themselves. Rising Nepal has to get into the zone. Elementrix is ready for them. Will Elementrix be their demise, or will Rising Nepal get into the zone? As Sonam has been spotted. 1 shot, 2 shots, 3 shots, 4 shots, 26 bullets, 23 bullets, 21 bullets. Spots out 1 player, and Shagar takes him down. 1 final player in first left. If in first goes down, it will be a 4v1v1v1 for them. It will be an easier task for them. They have spotted each and every one. 7C Hades is solo. Hyptalion is solo. KSFT is solo. In first is bleeding outside the circle, trying to find a perfect way to heal battle if he can. Can he actually make up to that heal battle? No, he cannot. Falls out of the play zone. That is the end of Rising Nepal, ladies and gentlemen. 4 teams remaining. 4v1v1v1 situation. Hyptalion is solo. KSFT is solo. 7C Hades is solo. And 4 players reigning terror are from Elementrix. What's going to happen as KSFT drops down? This is a 4v1v1. 4v1v1, 6 people alive. And look at Elementrix going on one side. Have spotted 7C Hades. Will Shagar go for it? Elementrix is looking really, really good. But Mr. Yosu falls down by him, by Hyptalion. And Poo Man has also been spotted. Hyptalion is going solo right now. He's taking the fight, but match gets ended as Team Hype gets eliminated on the second. A good comeback. But talking about comebacks, Elementrix.
Yeah,
A chicken
12
dinner.
kills. Chicken dinner and 12 kills coming in for the team. But once again, okay, they went for a 2-2 split. And you remember during the group stages, the last time they tried this, they got wiped out and it costed them the chicken dinner. And this time when Hypeda Leon actually dropped Mr. Yuzu, I thought it was going to happen the same. Because the damage, Hypeda Leon did not take any damage while fighting Mr. Yuzu. So that was an even 1v1. But on the other side, as soon as the other players dropped Ifti, that was going to be it. And Dalion once again being taken out. Elementrix stepping up big time. They have to do this consistently again in the next 3 games if they want to prove that they are the same team that played during the fall in the South Asia region.
Yeah.
They are the same team that actually contested teams from India like Entity Gaming, Soul, Fnatic, and all those big names. They have to prove that once again, because this time not looking the same.
This was a game for comebacks for too many teams. I mean, Hype, they had a
Yeah.
decent run and they just came back out of it. There was a time when Gurkha and Prototype and all of them, they just got eliminated on a 12th position mark. If the final player of Hype, he would not, Dalian, if he would not have taken his team to this level, the team would have gotten eliminated at 12th position. There was a time when KS would have gotten eliminated on 7th position, but if he was still surviving out in that location, 7C would have been eliminated at 6th or 7th position, but still Hades was just sitting out there. Fights were happening. Pupuman was spotting players from here to there, but he could not spot the players that were right in front of him.
That was actually pretty funny, and they were constantly nading the exact same spot. I mean, you threw like 4 nades there. If you are still not getting a name in the kill feed, that means the person is not there. He has moved away. Like, try a different location for once. And once again, we were having a conversation about having those good mechanical skills to yourselves, and we have sort of sometimes seen those mechanical misplays, because the game sense, that is on point. But sometimes being a little bit slow with your reactions, being not able to flick exactly on point and on the targets can actually cost you some team fights. Like in the last fight as well, Mr. Yozo versus Hypeda Leon, a little bit slower on the reactions, causing Mr. Yozo to drop down. Yeah, in the end, it did not matter because Pupu Man was right behind him and the trade-off came off instantly. But you have to be careful, because had Pupu Man also gone down, what then? You're just left with 2v2 situation.
Yeah, I mean, those are some of the things that actually happen sometimes. But then Hype was ready for a comeback. Elementrix was ready for a comeback. And just like you said, they'll have to do the same in the upcoming games as well. Because if they have that curse right now that they're in 17 to 24 position. If they have to just step up their game, they'll have to get up. If not anything, if they come up in the top 16 by the end of the day, which I think they will just by this game only, but if they just, make up a good comeback and they just make up their mark, then all the other teams that they're going to fight tomorrow, or the teams that are going to fight day after tomorrow with them, they'll be kind of, worried that what if this team can do an incredible comeback? What if we just lose a game? We just lose a fight among them. So that's going to be,
Exactly. That's what I was about to say, because there will come a point when you will run out of your games and you will be done with your games. And after that, all you're left with is just to sit and watch if the other teams mess up, if the teams below mess up and they lose points. And you should never put yourself in a situation wherein you're relying on others to make mistakes for you to actually stay in the top 16. Elementrix, this one was really well played, but once again, focus on the next game and repeat the same sort of performance that you had in this one. And talking about performances, let's have a look at the MVP for this game and see who was the player who put up an amazing performance from the side of Elementrix. It was Elementrix Pupu Man coming in with 4 kills, 332 damage, 9 kilometers distance traveled, and 24 minutes survival time.
I mean, he covered a lot of distance, and that distance was covered by his bullets as well. From one edge of the circle to the other edge of the circle.
That was hilarious.
INES players. That was incredible. And they're dropping location from the dropping to going to all the area all around the circle, and then as the zone was ending along those areas, the shore side, and then one person that actually survived was DC Steel Sophie as well. That we'll have to. I mean, let's see where DC actually ended. Let's go for the game standings. Let's see where DC also ended, where all the teams just ended with their points and all. As 32 points were there for Elementrix, 12 kills in their hands, 6 by Team Hype with those 20 points. They are sitting on second. Team 7CO with 16 points on third. Team Xtreme, they had good kill numbers. See, 7 kills, and if they would have taken up the more and more fight, they would have gone to a big number as well. But right now they're on fourth. Rising Nepal on fifth. KS Axe another team that has done a comeback right now.
Yeah. Rising Nepal also stepping up big time after the unfortunate
And
day of
KSX as well.
yesterday. And KSX as well, once again. But KSX, you need to be consistent. Because earning 11 points per game is actually a good thing. 11 points per game can actually make you in the top 16. But you have to be consistent with that. You can't let go of anything and let loose in one single game. KSS acts as that close to being not making it into the finals. But moving on, Deadeyes Guy is coming in with the 7th position with 10 points and Jyanmaara 8th with 7 points to their name.
So far, this is what it is, and then from the 9 to 16 points, I mean, INES falling a bit short this time. I mean, Rising Nepal has done good, and INES has also done good, but now it's the fight for the first position overall. We'll have to see what actually happens.
Once again, damn classy. Talking about damn classy, Steel XOP was from this team. DC 10th position with 3 points. KTM Rage are going to be 11th with 3 points as well. Nepali Ho Ni is going to be 12th with 3 points. Trusty Process, they are going to be 13th with 3 points to their name. Vibes is going to be 14th with 2 points. Wolves Den, they are going to be 15th with 2 points. And Rivals X, they are going to be 16th with just 1 point for themselves. The first team to be eliminated, Rivals X. It's always unfortunate to be the first one to leave the game, because then you are just forced to basically turn to the stream and see what the other teams are doing.
I mean, yeah, but then let's actually go to the top 5 players as well, as you are talking. As one of the players that's going to be standing out in all those is going to be, obviously, Rising Nepal. They always make up a mark. They always leave up a mark. And 4 kills from Sonam. 588 damage and 2 headshots. 50% accuracy seems really good. And Hype Leon, once again, making up a mark. The team had 6 kills, if I'm not wrong, and out of those 6, 4 is by this one gentleman out here. 488 and Elementrix Poo Man, as we talked about the game MVP. Elementrix Shagar once again making up an appearance from Elementrix's side. 806 damage. The damage amount that this guy has done, that's incredible.
Yeah, that is incredible. But talking about the 5th man, it's going to be KS's Ifti, the man who actually survived in the top 3 with 3 kills, 66 damage and 1 headshot for himself.
I mean, yeah, this has been good. And KS making up a mark in today's games, that seems like a good thing.
Yeah, that actually seems like a good thing. And that, in fact, is a good thing for their team, because KS acts sitting at that last spot. They are in a lot of trouble right now unless they actually start performing and start slowly and steadily moving up that ladder. Still have 3 more games for today, and we have 2 more days to go after today. But let's have a look at Elementrix versus Hype Squad and see a head-to-head between these two teams and see how they did in the last game and how they are doing. Because it is going to be interesting. Once again, Elementrix, because they are in a similar situation. Elementrix, Hype, both good teams, but not like standing up to their name. And looking at the stats, Elementrix with 12 kills, Hype with 6 kills to themselves, damage 1759 to 1200, healing done 158 to 119, distance traveled 30 kilometers for both these teams, headshots 5 to 1. That is a massive difference, but the kills are double as well.
That's considering the kills are double and the headshot amount is a lot, and out of those 2 headshots were taken by Poo Man himself, and so that seems like a good thing. And overall, I mean, Elementrix have the advantage that the 4 people were remaining, and Hype had that one disadvantage that just one person, Dalion, was remaining, or rest 3 actually were trying to take the fights, but then they were falling apart, falling really short, and that was one of the things that actually changed each and everything for the game. And if anything, I think we can go for the overall standings as well. We'll try to see what overall after the first game. See, till yesterday, each and every team had 8 matches played. Now it's going to be 9 matches for some teams, as we are talking, as Rising Nepal goes up with those still 2 chicken dinners, but 133 points, 124 for INES, 9-point difference yet there is. I mean, INES can actually go for it if they want to go for it. Team Xtreme making up a mark and still slowly climbing up the ladder. 114. PN Gaming not playing today, but still has a 113-point mark for them. R3D once again not playing today. 97 Gladiators not playing today. Still, they are out there. Deadeyes Guy is out there with 9 points for them, but at 7th, and Team 7C making up their mark on the 8th.
Yeah, 7C put up an amazing performance in this game as well. But moving on to the next state, 9 to 16 team. Hype is going to be on the 9th with 89 points. Jyanmaara, they are going to be 10th with 83 points. Trusty Process, they are going to be 11th with 82 points. Nepali Ho Ni, 12th with 78 points. Rivals X, 13th with 76 points. Elementrix, 14th with 73 points. Team T2K, they are going to be 15th with 63 points. And Damn Classy, they are going to be 16th with 58 points to their name. So once again, teams in the second half of the table, second third of the table. Only one team is there with 8 games played. It is T2K, who are not going to be playing today. But moving on to the next 8 and seeing the bottom 8, it is going to be Salty Squad on the 17th with 58 points, Wolves Den 18th with 57 points, Ultimate Bank 19th with 50 points, KTM Rage on the 20th with 49 points, Vibes, they are going to be 21st with 46 points, Team Pyro, they are going to be 22nd with 43 points, KS Axe is going to be 23rd with 35 points, and A1 Esports 24th with 30 points. So KS Axe, they just moved up one slot.
And they have a chance to move up
Yeah.
to the other slots as well if they play their cards right. I mean, they had a good run, but in the first game, like good as in comparison to the other runs,
Yeah.
it was pretty decent. They had 11 points in this game. So that actually shows that they have the capability and they would like to go for those capability points as well.
Definitely getting a chicken dinner is gonna show everyone that you are gonna be trying your hardest to make it towards the final. But the next game is gonna be on Sanhok. It is gonna happen after the break. We'll be right back. You guys stay tuned and keep watching. Hello everyone and once again welcome back to PMCO 2020 Spring Split South Asia Semi-Finals, and that was a failed challenge by your caster and analyst Ocean Sharma. My name is Varun Super Johnny John.
I could have done a really amazing flip the bottle, but I just don't want to show my skills on camera because it might get viral. That's why I just did not do it. Otherwise,
He would
I'm a
have failed.
self-proclaimed flip the bottle champion of the world, a competition that has never happened or something. So yeah, there is that.
Oh boy. Talking about competition, the competition has just gotten intense with the first game on Erangel, and moving on to Sanhok, it is just gonna, the intensity is just gonna go up.
Yeah, exactly. The intensity is gonna be there. But Sanhok is known for one thing, and that is a slow start. Snakes are out there. I mean, the snakes bite you a lot.
Yeah, it is a lot of greenery and sort of a tropical atmosphere, and in those areas you do find a lot of snakes.
And his favorite color, olive green, is also there.
Yeah, that is there, but I don't like it when my color starts shooting at me, so I don't like Sanhok as well.
How can your color start shooting at you?
That happens in Sanhok, like the guy wearing a ghillie suit, all of a sudden you just beautiful grass, and then just you're dead in a second.
You're just lying down and you're like, oh, look at this beautiful grass, and the grass goes like
Yeah, that is Sanhok. That is Sanhok in a nutshell, because sometimes even without a ghillie suit it gets hard to spot people when they're hiding behind a rock, just proning, just staying there, so patient, so stealthy. Like you can shoot an episode of I don't know, some show on Discovery based on a player lying in Sanhok.
Like a snake or something. He's talking about snakes and all that. You can shoot some show of snakes or something like this creature is a really good creature. He likes to stay calm. He likes to stay sharp. But when he sees his opponent, he wants to eat him out. And then there's a green crate out there with the green smoke popping up, and it's like, see, he had his meal. That's a chicken dinner.
Yeah. Ooh, that is definitely going to be a chicken dinner. But talking about other places other than snakes, there are huge combats on boot camp. Paradise Resort can be a highly contested area, but sometimes it's just going to be one team lying there. So in the same map, in the same game, you see two different strategies, wherein in one spot teams are actually contesting the hot drops like you do. On the other one, teams are not contesting the hot drop, and based on that sort of a psychology, sometimes you see Paradise Resort left all alone. No teams land there sometimes.
It's all mental strategy. See, sometimes the teams are like, it's all mental strategy. Sometimes teams are like, if let's go to Paradise, and three more teams are like, let's go to Paradise, no one is coming there. All four teams are thinking, let's go to Paradise, no one is coming there. And then there is a second match in which they are like, everyone might come to Paradise, so let's just not go to Paradise, and then the Paradise is left alone. It's all that mental balance strategy of how you want to strategize your gameplay, because in this game, it's all about the game of chance and the fact you might find your favorite gun on initial drop, or you might not. You might find a good first aid, and someone shoots at you, and you get to use that first aid in the initial moment as well. I mean, these kind of small things make up a big difference when you are actually, from landing, looting, rushing, and survival. All those four pillars of the game come into play when you are playing this game. And also at this big stage, when PMCO is happening, the semi-finals are right in front of you, and those semi-finals are going to make an impact for the teams to go into the finals, to make their way. And teams are trying for it. Yeah,
teams are definitely trying for it, as we have been seeing since the group stages, since the starting of the semi-final stages. But now, today, once again, talking about the four pillars of the game that you mentioned, that sort of separate the best players, the best of the best from the rest. Because dealing with those RNGs, dealing with those unfortunate situations, if you are able to do that consistently, you are going to keep on climbing.
One thing I want to always ask, what plane is Gole on? Like, he always is flying like far away from all the players. Like, what is that second plane or something? But to be honest, we are in the game, ladies and gentlemen, and the plane path, it has Camp Alpha out there. See, it starts from the north side of Kampong, like Lakavi is out there, and then you can go to Camp Bravo, Paradise, as we talked about, Boot Camp. There might be some players, Pine, and there are sometimes at least two teams dropping on Pine and Ruins. No one's gonna go to draw Docks out there, but Camp Charlie, Sahami. If players want to go to those areas, they can go to those areas, but will they prefer it? Because sometimes certain areas, certain locations are the ones that are left out, and teams don't usually go to those drops.
Yeah, teams don't usually go to those places, but look at this. TX just like spreading out along the bank on the eastern side of the map, taking control of Camp Bravo from themselves. But Sanhok, initial engagement coming in from the side of Rising Nepal, and INES is gonna be taken out of the game within the first 2 minutes. Oh boy.
The team that is first and the team that is second, they are fighting for it. It shows out there that teams actually want those fights and they want those points. Doesn't matter if you're first or second, you will be targeted out in those areas. If the fight is happening, if you have the chance, your opponent or you can go down in all those initial fights, and we'll have to see what happens. 7C on the other hand, kind of outside the circle. We'll have to see how the fights take place and how it all happens.
Yeah, we have to see that, and we have to see how teams are gonna plan to move on to the later stages. But now TDP on our screens right now have taken control of the cow location, and that is a really nice place. Lots of coverage, lots of huts are there to protect you. But on the other side, talking about INES, have already lost tier in this game and are sitting at a disadvantage, being engaged upon by KTM Akshay with that QBZ in his hands. Could actually wreak and do a lot of damage to these players. So Badrev, you have to be careful, just proning in that small sort of lookout.
Yeah, but INES is having a bad day. Rising Nepal, see, they came to boot camp later on.
Yeah.
KTM is right in front of them, and INES has a drop of boot camp, but they contested it, took down one player, that was Tier, and they sort of managed to force Team INES from boot camp. That is a brilliant strategy by Rising Nepal. Shows their domination, shows their courage. Akshay was dropped low. He has a full medkit. Will like to exactly what I was saying.
Yeah.
If you have a full medkit and you need to use it, you can actually go for it. But then second time it's gonna happen as Badrev drops KTM Akshay. Now the all of the damage and each and everything, the pressure is on KTM's side, but INES Badrev also goes down in the fight. INES is left out for 2 men as Badrev is slowly and steadily bleeding out. Evil Eye was going for a move, will have to come back so that, he can give adequate cover to Machine as well, as Machine will go for a revive, and Akshay is still safe right now. I mean, he is, bleeding out, but is still kind of safe. If Warhead finds him, it will be an easy revive. If it does not, then obviously someone is getting their kill.
Yeah, they are definitely going to be in trouble. But once again, Evil Eye covering his teammates' backs because DC is in close proximity to these players as well. On the other side, KTM, Warhead, and Ramos, they have the high ground. Ramos goes in for the revive on Akshay. Badrev is going to get a revive himself. And Suraj, once again, joining his teammates in this duel between KTM and INES. Machine is there as well. 3-man versus 4-man. It is going to be a hard time for INES. Disengaging from this fight would actually be pretty convenient for these guys. But on the other side, Evil Eye, he is quite far behind. So regrouping with his teammate is going to be the first priority for that man. But once again, Badrev trying to find a position, trying to find a place from where he can spot out the players from the side of KTM. Has to be careful because the last time he made the mistake of not having his back covered was when he got dropped. Does not have any first aid, has 5 bandages though. So once again, the healing utility could actually be really, really important because even if Badrev trades damage or gets knocked down, once again, if you are not full health, fighting is going to be hard because that just means you are taking an even bigger risk than you're supposed to. Machine, he has a first aid kit that could actually come into play and change this entire situation, but for that you have to be careful about it and basically predict as to how the other team is going to come in towards you and how you want to take that situation into your hand. INES, they have regrouped, but DC are going to abandon this Paradise Resort area because they are done looting over here and are going to get out of here and make the next rotation.
I mean, yeah, that's what the game is all about. You need to be on the move each and every time. On the move from your opponents, on the move from the circle as well, and on the move if you have good amount of guns. And that's going to be one of the things. But Rev, as you said, he has been revived right now. He's ready for another fight. And talking about fights, this is one gun that is really, really useful in the areas like Sanhok. I mean, AUG it has a good fire rate. It can go blasting when it's close corners, the covered out areas, and the final circles and all. And so is one gun that is M49 as well. Let's see if we find that thing happening. But Evil has been talked on by DC Steel X OP. The guy who survived in the previous game is still ready for another fight, and Badrev is also low on health. INES is being targeted from each and every direction. See, they are not having a good day right now in the matter that each and every team is ready for a fight, and when they are going for a fight, the only team that they are finding is INES from each and every direction. We'll have to see what happens as DC Felix OP is trying to spot the second player if he can. If it's Machine, I think if Machine also goes down, then it won't be a chance for INES's players to revive both the players that are down right now, as DC is ready for a fight, and I think they will just barge in, as Badrev, he is still on 75% health.
Yeah, they do not. I don't think they have spotted where Badrev is and do not know as to how healthy he is, how much health he has lost on himself. So DC paying respect to the team that is second in the overall standings. That is pretty commendable. But on the other side, KTM, the team that was preparing a backstab for the players from INES, they are going to get backstabbed themselves by Jyanmaara, and the players are being traded back and forth. So Neem is going to drop Warhead, but for how long can JM sustain this fight? Because players from both squads were dropping like crazy, and T'Challa is going to go in on Ramos once again. T'Challa is going to get dropped, and once again, the players being traded. But
when KTM Suros drops down to Chala, and that is going to be one bad thing for Jyanmaara right now. As Jyanmaara started the fight, they initiated it, but the other ones that are getting dropped. And while we were talking, see, Evil Eye just got a revive, but Sincere is really, really close to them. The snaking coming in handy right now. Steelix OP can good and adequate and good cover, but Sincere is moving it forward. Can he spot out a player? As Machine is also out there, and so is Evil Eye. These two players out here in this area. If you guys know, this is what Sanhok is known for, the snaking in, and Wolf69 takes down Elementrix's Mr. Hyosu as well, finishes him. So that is one of the things that has happened out there. So Elementrix is kind of in a bit of a trouble, and Elementrix is a team that won the previous game, right? So they should not be looking up for this start, and Orange will also go down. See, this is the thing that I was talking about. They won the previous game. They do not want this start. Shagar and Pupuman are two players left. When Pupuman is trying to spot some players, he is extremely good with long ranges, but can he make the maximize output out of his shots? That's going to be one of the things as Wolves are becoming vultures, as they are just, eating out the crates.
And Shagar with that M24. These two players are sort of the top fraggers from the team, but Evil Eye once again being dropped. Machine has been dropped to 20% health. Can he take this fight? Sincere was the man who did the damage. He has a high boost for himself, climbing on top of the foliage, and Machine is going to be taken out. Just one man remaining from the side of INES. That is going to be Badrev, the man who was split up from his team, actually putting him as the only surviving member in this situation. Hiding in that hut, can he actually bait his teammates out and take the players from the side of DC? It is going to be a 3 versus 1 fight, because Evil Eye was taken out earlier. Machine has been knocked down. The players from the side of DC, damn classy, closing in slowly and steadily. Once again, running in and rushing towards Machine. They are going to finish him off in a matter of seconds. But can they spot out Badrev at him? He has a split. Even if Badrev goes in, even if he actually gets some players. But no, Blind is just going to pop him in the head.
See how it was. We got a camera of Badrev, and he just became a crate down in less than a second, and that was just something that DC just did. And DC is going to be really, really happy with their performance, as they just took out 3 kills for themselves, obviously, and 3 players from INES were taken down by them. 1 player of INES was taken down by Rising Nepal, and the circle is closing. Can you just see the circle? Yes, the circle is out here, ladies and gentlemen. If you just look at this, so many teams are concentrated from Painan to Boot Camp to Query area. There's a cluster of teams. 7Cs and KS are on the left hand side, obviously on the other island, but then no one is on Paradise, Camp Bravo, Kampong. I mean, teams are not in those areas as of now. And TDP, if they spot DC, I think it can be an end game for DC. And just one airdrop. I mean, there is a second airdrop as well on the circle, but then that's kind of outside the circle if we are talking about it. And another 1 minute and 50 seconds, the second circle is going to come, and then that is going to be a moment when there are going to be some incredible fights once again. But this time, TDP and DC are still right in front of each other. Will they engage in a fight? And second airdrop. Okay, this is an incredible gun, to be honest.
Yeah, this is a really amazing gun and can cause your team to actually turn situations around. But the other one, the one I guess even you are waiting for, is going to be the M249.
I'm waiting
Because
for it.
that is one of those guns that you use in clutch situations. As we saw from the man who was taken out a couple of seconds earlier, INES Evil Eye. In a 1 versus 4, dropped down 3 players, but it was a 1 versus 4, so the man had to be killed off at some point, but still managed to survive a long time. On the other side, talking about players surviving, can TDP survive this onslaught from TX Captain? Team Xtreme actually dropped down on top a little bit earlier. His health was somewhere around, I think, 10%, and using those healing utility and healing coming up to around 70% health on top is going to be quite safe now. But since the shots were being fired, Doku Doku actually spots out Sincere, does about 15 damage. Sincere was already running that health boost coming in, so he is going to heal up slowly and steadily. But Blind on the other side taking some shots on himself from Doku Doku with that QBZ is going to be trouble and is going to be dropped to 50% health.
Yup, and Doku Doku is still trying to find some player. Rival Slayer takes down TX Demon as we are talking with a grenade, and DC Blind, if he gets spotted by TDP's players, I think they will like to go for it. TX Viper has also been taken down. TX Captain is the one that is left alongside TX Kazi as Rivals are ready for a fight. Rivals is the squad that got eliminated in the first position. Shakar with that M24. Oh my god, this guy is incredible with snipers, even in a match like Sanhok. Rival Slayer takes on TX Team and just finishes him in a really good way as they got one player. What was he doing out there? Captain just and takes him down, but I think he has been spotted, and TX Viper goes down by a grenade once again. Kazi is on good health right now. RN in first taking. Rising Nepal is taking a fight with that. That isn't great. And Captain also goes on. It's just down to one player. He is reviving his player. Viper gets a revive. Kazi is ready for a fight. Viper would like to pop up a first aid, but then Slayer and Trigger are moving forward. Spots on one player, but then Kazi takes him down. 1v1 situation out there, ladies and gentlemen. Slayer versus Kazi. What's going to happen? And Rivals finally stepping up to the game. Eliminates one more team, that is Team Xtreme. 4 kills in their hands, and they will give up a good revival as well. The team that got eliminated in the first position the previous game, that team has done wonder right now. This was incredible, and Rivals has 4 kills in their bag right now.
Yeah, picking up an entire squad for themselves is definitely going to give them an advantage when we are having a look at the points table for this game. But on the other side, Elementrix once again having the high ground. They have to be careful because Nepali Ho Ni have their players right behind them. So rotating out of this location is going to be a bit tricky. Moving on to the next location, but in first, he has spotted a couple of players. Lake has taken a lot of damage, dropped down to around 20% health. He's going to heal up slowly. But on the other side, the remaining players from the side of Nepali Ho Ni, they are rotating and grouping up together. Gole, he is coming in towards Vcash and Reaper OP, but is he going to be spotted out in first? Still behind the tree on the high ground, is trying to spot out the players right in front of him. On the other side, Rising Nepal, they have to be careful because DC is in close proximity as well. And this fight could be a third party at any given moment, but DC, they are going to be happy about the fact that they were able to take on the players from INES and are going to look to get out of there.
Yes, and Jyanmaara Sonim is still out of the circle right now. Circle is slowly and steadily coming up, and he can actually be contested by KTM's players. Rising Nepal, on the other hand, in first, took down one player, has 1 kill for him, and obviously that was the first player from INES, the first player that was dropped out. So Rising Nepal currently has 1 kill, and the circle is still quite centralized on their direction. So the teams that are inside the circle, they don't have to worry about anything. They can just take up some fights, but still there are 2 or 3 teams that are outside the circle. We'll have to see when they actually come inside the circle. We are down to 50 players alive. 14 teams remaining. 2 teams that have actually gone out is INES and Team Xtreme. So those 2 teams, they'll have to wait for the next lobby to actually, commence in so that they can join. And they can actually change the pace of the game for themselves as well as Rivals did in this game. We'll have to see what happens. And Rising Nepal, this team is currently topping the table. And what just happened?
That was interesting, dropping your own teammate. I mean, yesterday we saw a player just throw nades at his own teammate, but he did not do any damage this time. There was an actual knock coming in. So putting your own teammate in a bit of danger. Newt, he is going to throw the smoke, go use those bandages in the smoke because he does not have any first aids on him. talking about things, airdrop number 3 coming in with that AUG, the cheek pad for the snipers. So if Shagar from is able to pick
Or
up
if
this,
someone has an MK14 from the previous airdrop, they can just go for it.
yes, with the first aid med kit coming in as well, and the military vest with the helmet. So a lot of good stuff.
Quite a lot of good stuff, and they can just utilize the make the proper use out of it if they want to. And Rising Nepal's in first. If you see Rising Nepal, this team is topping the charts. This team has 1 kill right now. This team has had a bad run yesterday, but right now and today they started the day decent. They are seeing DC right in front of them. DC, the squad that took down INES, that was a big name as they were topping the table. They are looking for a second upset as well, as DC is trying to spot some players from Rising Nepal. We'll have to see what happens in this fight.
Once again, okay, DC have 3 kills. They are the 3 players from INES. And Rising Nepal, they have 1 kill. That was INES tier.
Yeah.
So two teams who were actually
Shared the kills of INES.
Yeah.
They are now 1-on-1, as in first takes a lot of damage if you just look at that.
Yeah, that is going to be putting the man at a disadvantage. But Atom, he is not looking to slow down. Once again, using the window to peek perfectly. Because, yeah, they were shooting back and forth, but Atom did not take any damage in return.
Yeah, for now he did not. But the major factor, sorry, out here is, if you look at Celix OP, Celix is kind of a bit behind from all the team areas and everything, like from his players. So Celix is on another direction. Hype Gurkha White takes down TDP Dokudoku. So big names are being taken down by other names as well. We'll have to see what happens and how the teams actually go for it. DC Atom, DC Blind on one area and trying to take up a fight from some other direction or something. But then Crazy has an M2. Like, he does not have an M24, but the area where he entered, there was an M24 behind him or something. I don't know what was that. But then will he actually take it up? And I think that's for Elementrix's players only. And with Sarga as well. And Ensign Gole takes on Rivals. And Ensign once again taking some fight. And Rivals has also emerged out as a really good team. And Ensign Gole is trying to spot some other players as well, trying to take up some fights if they can. If that happens, we'll have to see how it goes overall.
A lot of volatility if you're talking about teams' performances. Teams performing in group stages are not doing so great right now. Teams not doing great in group stages are just dominating everyone else in the semi-finals. But on the other side, Utsarga with that car is going to spot out Hype SK49, but the shot missing its mark is going to allow the man to escape. But Dalion being spotted, he is going to run behind that hut. The message being conveyed to his teammate by SK that there is a sniper present. Just being careful. Dalion is going to come in. His case sitting on the wrong seat of that bike. Switching a little bit too early is just going to drop the bike on himself. But Dalion is actually going to come and pick it up, and the teammates are going to rotate on that two-wheel, leaving one guy just to run in towards them. On the other side, Rising Nepal still fighting it out with the players from the side of DC. Atom is going to drop one player from the side of Rising Nepal. Rivals, they are going to go in for another rotation towards the low ground. Once again, just being a little bit careful as to how they actually manage to survive this one, because this game is going to put them at an interesting spot, because two of the strongest teams, Xtreme and INES, they were taken out first.
Yeah, I mean, that is one thing that just happened. And KTM, as you see, KTM is trying to spot some players from Rising. They just want those desperation kills out there, because that is important. Rising Nepal, on the other hand, they want to make up for a comeback. 7C Pathetic takes on Wolves Newty and just finishes him. But that is one thing that is happening. 7C Hades also goes on by Wolves 69. Wolves 69 just finishing 7Cs. So 7Cs is kind of in a bit of a trouble right now. And the circle is also coming. TDP Utsaga, one more shot if that goes on, and Rivals Trigger can actually have that kill, that knock, if not the kill right now. But then the zone is not on either of them as well. Not on TDP, not on Rivals. Rival has to make a way into the zone, and 7Cs gets eliminated. You see the circle. The circle is going to shrink as we are talking once again, and the shrink is going to be important. Look at Hype. Brilliant strategy by our team Hype to actually come outside the circle, and NHN takes on Vibes players as well. Rivals Divine pops up the head of TDP Puffy, and the fights are still happening, and Vibes gets eliminated as NHN goes up for an incredible and amazing fight. KTM is still outside the circle, has 4 points for them.
Yeah, Rising Nepal is outside as well, and they have to be careful this time around, because fighting outside the blue zone is going to put you in a bit of trouble if there are teams that are gatekeeping the entire area. But on the other side, Rivals, they are going to look to rotate in towards the circle as well, as the blue zone is coming in towards them. On the other side, DC, since Rising Nepal are fighting in the blue zone, they are taking damage from the blue zone as well. DC are going to try to look, they are looking to multiply or add into that blue zone damage with their own bullets, and Sonam is going to be dropped because of that. Alex Whitey from the side of Rising Nepal, he is looking to close in the distance towards the players from the side of DC. DC still sitting at an health advantage, and first is taking damage slowly and steadily. Alex Whitey is in the same situation. Both the players are quite low. Using those healing utilities on themselves is going to allow them to survive, but not if Steelix OP is firing those bullets. Alex is going to be dropped in first. The only man left standing for the side of Rising Nepal. Can he save his team? Crazy was already taken out, so this was a 3v3 situation, but now on 1v3.
1v3, but bandages are not going to help in fifth circle. 278 meters. If DC actually gets this win from Rising Nepal as well, DC can be the team that has toppled first and second position from the players. I mean, they just took down the players. Steelix OP goes down by KS Mehraj. Full size, ironic takes down TDP on top. Steelix OP getting finished out by KSFT. DC, the good days are over as there is a team that is ready to take up a fight against them. Jyanmaara gets eliminated on 12. This actually puts up other teams in a bit of a good situation as Rising Nepal with just one player can they just get inside the zone. As you can see in the minimap, they are outside the circle, and DC Cynthia and Atom still trying to make out their way. Trigger goes down from Rivals as well. 6-9 takes up a fight, and Rivals Divine also gets down in first from Rising Nepal. That is the end of Rising Nepal with 2 kills in this particular game as they got eliminated on 11. Rivals noobs, but Wolf 6-9. Oh my god, that spotting power, that firepower was incredible as they take down Wolves Dictator. 9 teams remaining, 25 players alive out in this direction. NHN is ready for a fight if some teams actually contest them, but KS versus KTM, this might be an incredible one, and KS was taking fight from DC as well.
Yeah, that was actually the kill feed just going up like crazy, and once again it is still doing the same. The illusion sir being dropped. Rated sir is gonna drop player Hypeda Leon, and that is once again gonna put KTM is being eliminated. 3 teams still outside in the blue zone. Damn classy Trust Reprocess. Rivals X, they have to be careful. There is just one player alive for them. It's Rival Slayer and Nepali Ho Ni. They are looking to collapse upon the entire team. Sifusher, he is trying to run away from the blue zone, is gonna fall in. Trust Reprocess being eliminated from this game. The players from the side of Hype. Oh, this nade could actually do so much.
Can change everything for the team, but as of now, the grenade is fairly. Just imagine if that grenade would have been on the squad and it would have taken down each and everyone. But now Shifusa going for the grenades on Elementrix side. Rival X gets eliminated on 7th position. 6 teams remaining out here. 16 players remaining. Elementrix once again in the game. The 2 players, they lost their 2 players in the early stages, but still Elementrix is making up a mark right now. That is incredible from the side of Elementrix. And DV Shifusa once again throwing up grenades. I think the call has been given by Shifusa to rotate towards his right as Dalion is down. Prototype would like to give up a revive, and SK49 is also ready for a fight, but the circle is still coming on him. Shifusa gets spotted from the other direction. SK49 takes him down. 2 players have been down, and SK49 is also down. Rated Sir is trying to move in, but then will Prototype go for a firepower, or will he go for a revive as Rated Sir gets taken out? Prototype outside the circle can be spotted by Elementrix as well. Hypeda Leon gets ended by out there, and that will be the end of Team Hype on 5th position. 10 players remaining, 4 teams out there. Team Hype gets eliminated with 5 kills. Elementrix ready up for a fight. Can this team pull off a miracle? The miracle that is needed from this team, as this team won the first game and with just 2 players is ready to win. Set up their eyes on second. DC once again. DC blind. The solo survivor from Team DC is ready, but Nepali Ho Ni is out there. KS, Axe, the team that is going for an incredible comeback. 2 teams with their comebacks are ready for it. Reed is low on health, but still, look at DC blind outside the circle. Can he just pull off something as he's trying to get inside the circle? Yes or no? Takes down 1, takes down 2, but just barely manages. And KSFT will try to give up a revive right now to the players that have been down, as Sanhok is out there just snaking around. But imagine if Blind would have taken up those kills.
Yeah, but this changes the entire situation, because KS, they have all 4 of the players right now in the game, but even if one of their players died, their probability of getting a chicken dinner could actually fall down drastically, because the teams in front of them are Elementrix and Nepali Ho Ni, 2 of the most experienced teams in the tournament. But Elementrix, one player being knocked down. On the other side, Reaper OP is gonna take on KS. Harid is going to drop him down. But Synox is still snaking. He is quite in the open. So if he gets spotted, that is going to be an instant kill coming in. And KS losing a players. Miraz has been taken down. Lakhe being dropped. Reaper can he actually give some damage? Harid is going to be taken out. Ifti is going to be taken out. And KS, they are looking in trouble. Synox once again taking on Shaga. Shaga being dropped. Synox, the only man left standing for his entire team. Can he pull this off? They had 4 players, but now they're down to 1. Poo Man, he is going to be taken out as well. Shaga was taken down, and Elementrix being eliminated on the 3rd spot. Nepali Ho Ni, this could be their chicken dinner if Synox actually does not manage to get the revive on his teammate. See, it was a 4 versus 3. Now it is a 1 versus 3. Can Synox revive his teammate? Does he have enough time, or are Nepali Ho Ni, are they just going to charge in? Harid is going to die. It is going to be a 3 versus 3 situation, but the health is just not there. Miraz has been dropped with that nade coming in. Ifti is sitting. He was still bleeding, and Synox, he is trying to fight this one out. In a 1 versus 3, Weave Cash, he charges in. He's getting shot at. Synox, he's going to be taken down, and Nepali Ho Ni take the chicken dinner in the 2nd game on Sanhok.
I mean, incredible game by Nepali Ho Ni, if anything. And KS, the comeback speaks for themselves from 16th to 24th position, the overall positions, the day they started. And right now, it's 2nd position in this game. That was incredible by KS. Elementrix, 3rd position for this game, 1st position the 1st game. That was an incredible comeback. And Nepali Ho Ni, I mean, the odds were against them at one time.
Exactly. Every situation, everything in this game towards the end favored KS Axe. They had 4 players. They had the ridges in front of them. One of their players, like, no one knew where he was. Synox was, like, pretty close to the other teams.
Yeah.
And teams were unaware about his position, and they still managed to lose this one.
He was the only player inside the circle at one time.
Yeah.
KS and every player was bleeding outside the circle for KS. Every player was bleeding outside the circle for Nepali Ho Ni. He was a lone player inside the circle. They waited for NHN to take up a fight against Elementrix as Shaga was taken down. Pupuman was trying to struggle with the circle as well as Pupuman was taken down. But then KS, they just knew when to march in. They popped out one player, that was Lakhe OP, but still he managed to got a revive. But then NHN was ready for it. Vcash tried to move forward, Lakhe tried to move forward, Reaper tried to move forward, and when all these 3 players moved forward, it was like a force that was not just being stopped.
It all changed at the moment wherein DC actually dropped 2 players from the KSX, because as we were talking about, they had everything in their favor. But with the fight coming in from the side of DC, actually gave away their information, gave away their position to Nepali Ho Ni. And once the players were low, once the players had already used their healing utility, the smokes were being popped as well. Nepali Ho Ni just knew what to do. Synox engaging in the fight with Elementrix actually just basically catalyzed the entire situation to a faster rate of reaction, wherein they knew where Synox was now. So they know we have to be aware of the low ground player as well. And dealing with the players on the back first, taking on Synox next, that just shows the kind of sort of strats and experience based gameplay that Nepali Ho Ni comes in with. On the other side, Elementrix as well. Losing 2 players in the early game stages, actually making it into the top 3, that is incredible.
I mean, there are some teams. Hype also did good. They ended up in top 5 with 5 kills or something, I don't know. And, well, NHN left a good mark. And 2 teams that, you know, the teams that are at top, Rising Nepal, INES, getting eliminated by DC. And talking about DC.
Another thing, DC, they also messed up over there. They were taking on Rising Nepal. They took down players from INES, but Rising Nepal players, the kills were not given to the players from DC.
If you remember the final circle when DC's player was trying to get inside, he almost took down 2 players, was ready for a 3rd one as well. Imagine if he would have done that, that would have been just an incredible offset for the team. That could have, you know, I mean, I don't know how DC played the game today, but that was just incredible. They were marvelous if DC was playing.
Oh boy. DC were marvelous. Do you really want to go with that? But talking about Batman, let's have a look and see who the MVP for this game is and how they did this time around. It is going to be Nepali Ho Ni's Vcash with 4 kills, 499 damage, 3 kilometers traveled and 24 minutes survival time.
This is good. I mean, 4 kills for the guy and almost 500 damage. He did pretty good. He did pretty well if we have to talk about the way their rotations were or anything. And this guy popped out the last person as well. So He pretty much deserves the MVP
Yeah.
point at this time.
Was the man who actually initiated the rush on towards Synox from
Yeah.
KSX, and
KSX, yeah.
that was actually really important because
Yeah.
they were still trying to figure out, all right, where are these guys? Is he reviving them? What are they doing? What once the nade came in, Vikash just goes, all right, we have had enough. Let's just run in.
Yeah.
And from that, let's have a look at the game standings and see how the teams actually did this time around.
Yeah, and the game standings is 10 kills for Nepali. Only 4 of them came from Vcash, but then 30 points for the team KSX. These 20 points are gonna leave a big mark for the team right now, and we would love to see this team, climbing up and up the
Yeah.
ladder. Right now they're on second, but maybe next game can be theirs and they can top up to the first position. Damn classy. I mean, the 7 kills that they had. They wiped out Rising Nepal for the 4 kills. They wiped out INES for 3 kills, and those big names put them up to the 3rd position. Elementrix out there for 4th position. Rivals X for the 5th, and Team Hype dropping down 1 position because of the kills, obviously, and all those things. So they are on 6th, and Wolves Den on 7th, and Deadeyes Guys is out there on the 8th.
Yeah, that was the top 8. Moving on to the bottom 8, we have KTM Rage on the 9th with 7 points, Trusty Process on the 10th with 5 points, Rising Nepal on 11th with 3 points, Jyanmaara on the 12th with 2 points, Team 7C on the 13th with 2 points, Vibes on the 14th with 1 point, Xtreme on 15th, INES on 16th. So Rising Nepal, Trusty Process, 7Cs, Xtreme, INES, all the strong teams being taken out in this game, and the strongest of the strong this time just stood to be Nepali Ho Ni and KSX.
Yeah, I mean those two teams. Nepali Ho Ni, we know they are a really good team.
Yeah.
And KSX, the comeback that this team just initiated, I think they are going. If they continue their run, there's no stopping them. The way the team actually has taken up on the kills. They had 6 kills,
Yeah.
but then those 6 kills actually shows a lot that they have a lot of potential in them.
Yeah, the potential is there. And talking about potential, let's have a look at the top 5 players from this game and see what sort of a potential full play these guys brought in. And we have 4 people with 4 kills each. Nepali Ho Ni's Vcash is going to take the first with 499 damage. Rival Slayer is going to be second with 4 kills, 414 damage and 1 headshot. Elementrix Shaga on the third with 4 kills, 355 damage and 2 headshots. Ironic from Wolves is going to be fourth with 4 kills, 275 damage and 1 headshot. And Wolves 6-9 is going to be fifth with 3 kills, 667 damage and 2 headshots to his name.
One good thing about Elementrix's Shagar is that he and Pukum were the 2 people left. Still, he manages to bring out 4 kills to the team.
Yeah.
That is a really good number, and that's a really good effort by this player. Because sometimes, if you're left with 2 players, you have to decide if you need to play passive or you need to go for aggression or something. But then these players wiped out Hype Squad. And those 4 kills matter a lot when it comes to, taking up a fight, taking up your aggression, playing passively aggressive, trying to go to the zone, if you have to rotate into the zone first or if you have to be the last team to rotate in the zone. So those things actually, matter a lot.
Yeah, they actually matter, and it sort of becomes tricky. It is exactly as you said, because when you have just 2 players surviving in-game, decision making gets affected not just by the IGL, by the players. Even if the IGL dies and IGL gives the call, all right, you have to be aggressive at this point. If the players doubt themselves even just 1%, that is going to show in their performance. But these 2 players just trusting their calls,
Just trust the process.
yeah, just trust the process of their IGL and just getting those kills for their team. But talking about trusting, let's have a look at the overall standings and see how the teams have played so far and where they stand. Rising Nepal still sitting on the first with 136 points. INES is going to be still on the second with 125 points, but the gap is being closed slowly and steadily. Team Xtreme is going to be third with 115 points. PN Gaming is going to be fourth with 113. Team Xtreme had 115 points. R3D Devils are going to be fifth with 109 points. Nepali Ho Ni is going to be sixth with 108 points. Deadeye Guys, they are going to be seventh with 106 points. And Team Hype, they are going to be eighth with 101 points.
Every team out here is at that top 100 mark, and closing that 100 mark is going to be 97 Gladiators with 100 points in 9th position. 7C, I mean the team is doing incredibly well as compared to its qualifier stages, and they are on 10th position right now. Rivals X slowly and steadily climbing up the ladder on 11th position. Elementrix, no doubt this game is going to give them a really good boost, and they are on 12th position. TDP is out there on 13th. Jyanmaara on 14, Damn Class is out there on 15, and Wolves is on 16. But then we'll have to see what KSX is at, because the team has started, picking up the pace.
Yeah.
And starting from 24th, it's on 20th right now. And there's a lot of scope for the team. But then one team that is not actually showing the potential right now is Vibes, as they have had 10 games, but they are constantly dropping right now.
Yeah, once again dropping down to the 22nd position with 47 points to their name. And KSX, the kind of performance that they have had so far, if they continue playing like this, not just today, but tomorrow and the day after as well, I think that is going to be the point wherein KSX actually make it into the finals. Because as we talked about earlier, they slack off in one game and there goes their chance of making it.
Totally.
And from there on out, we will be back after a short break. You guys stay tuned and keep watching. A lot more action is yet to come. Hello everyone and welcome back once again to PMCO 2020 Spring Split South Asia Semi-Finals, and this is going to be day number 4, game number 3 on Miramar. My name is Varun Super Johnny John, this is Ocean Sharma, and we'll be taking you through the action forever, I guess.
I mean, yeah, and we need a lot of water for Miramar's desert, to be honest. That's why you can see a lot of bottles actually present out there. But the major thing that Miramar is going to present is TDP on top.
Yeah.
So the thing is, when TDP played previously, there was no Miramar. There was Weekendy both the times, and now it's going to be Miramar for both the times. So we'll have to see how they, present the gameplay for themselves. So Miramar favors some teams. Miramar does not favor some teams, as the game starts slow sometimes. But when it picks up the pace, it actually changes each and everything. As supposedly, some players are on the top of a ridge. They can or cannot come down of those ridge if the zone is, passing by them. If they come down this, they're going to have a lot of zone damage and also the fall damage and all of those things. And if the zone favors Hacienda or Los Lunas, then they have a lot of compounds, a lot of houses to rotate through. So different strategies actually lead out to different kind of scenarios.
Yeah, different strategies. You have to basically fight according to where the zone is becoming, because as Ocean stated out, if it comes down to Hacienda or Los Leones, then you have to be careful and fight it out in close quarters. Other than that, if it opens up in an open area, then you have to be rely on your snipers basically.
And ridges also, those ridge areas.
Yeah, ridge areas as well. And once again, talking about the ridges, they give you a high ground advantage, but as you said, if you are forced to run out of there because of the blue zone, then you are quite exposed while coming down. So you have to be careful and watch out for every single angle, because people like Shagar, people like Pupuman, people like On Top, they are going to be wreaking havoc with those snipers and those DMRs in this game. But talking about the trajectory, starting from Los Higos, going from the edge of Los Leones and heading over towards Campo Milta.
I mean, if teams want to go to Campo Milta, they can go to Campo Milta. And once again, see, Nepali Ho Ni is Gole. What kind of plane is he on? He's still always, away from his team. He's faster than the plane, to be honest, if anything. But how does he do that? I mean, how do you do that?
Nice.
But still, one of the things that I would like to see, Hype is going at one direction, KTM is coming up with them, Elementrix is orange is going on the other direction, and then there's a team that is following them. So we'll have to see how it all changes the pace of the game. I think NHN would like to go to Impala. That is like kind of their
it's their place.
It's their place, and they would like to go to that area, but will they be able to make it out to that particular point? And for now they are not contested by any other team, but then for how long, that's going to be one of the questions. Elementrix is going out with the Vibes as well, and Vibes having a bad run. Can they actually take it out? And I would want to see where KS goes, as KS is trying to go to Ladriela, but from there I think they're going to take a vehicle and go to El Pozo or something. But this area is being contested on the early stages, as Rising Nepal is taking a fight against 7 Seas in the early stages. And Rising Nepal, they are at the top, but then their fans are expecting a gameplay from them that is once again a top notch. But will they be able to provide it? We'll have to see.
Once again, after the performance that they set up in the first day, Rising Nepal just seemed to have fallen a bit short of that initial performance. But initial contact coming in between Wolves and INES, this could spell trouble for both the teams. But INES machine being taken down by Ironic with that Win 94. Oh boy, you hardly get to see this gun in action. But
like,
when
he
you
took
do,
him down with a shotgun, and then Win 94 coming in action for the stuff. I mean, Winchester, it's an incredible, and we both are Supernatural fans, and we talk about it. If trust me, all right, if any one of you is Supernatural fan, just comment down below and we'll just binge watch it together. Meanwhile, Will's Nutty, look at him. Look at his health, just 10 HP. 1 HP. I mean, that's not even 10 HP. He's just really surviving out. Does not have a first hit right now. Has 5 bandages. Would like to maximize the utilization of those bandages. Meanwhile, coming back to it, Rising Nepal and 7C, they are trying to spot each and every one. Winchester, soon this gun is going to have a scope as well.
Oh, that is actually going to make the thing entirely interesting. But Wolves, they have to be careful, because the place they were in does not have a lot of compounds, and not having a lot of compounds is going to mean that not enough loot. Not enough loot is going to translate into not having enough healing. And we can already see on that its effect on Newt, who was dropped quite low, close to dying, but is still sort of sticking away from the heels, and he has to be careful this time around. Once again, Wolves, Ironic, 6-9, Dictator running out in the open. They have to be careful. Their teammate somehow manages to get to 50% health. But on the other side, here is another team that put up an amazing performance on Sanhok in the last game. It is DC. Damn classy. Few mistakes the last time, not confirming the kills for themselves, just letting them slither away and being given to the side of the play zone, or the blue zone, in fact. You do not want to do that. As we say, every single kill is going to give you 1 extra points, and those single points can actually make or break your standing and your overall performance as well. It could be possible that because of that one kill in that one game, you are just 1 point short of being in the top 16.
Yeah, those you see, little differences make up a big impact on the game as well, on the teams as well. So we'll have to see what actually goes on in all of these fights and all of the strategies. As some teams have lost their players already, 2 teams have lost their single players, and that's gonna change quite a lot of things. But then, will that be enough for the teams? As the teams are ready once again to take up their fights, they have good, decent guns right now. Previously, they kind of did not. They kind of managed to drive away from their focus and attention. But right now, I think they'll be ready for the fights, and if anything, let's see what happens as the fights actually progress.
Yeah, we have to see as how these teams are going to take this fight. I mean, we just wait for them and see where they are going to go, how they are going to actually rotate in towards the action, and what sort of angles are they going to peak, how are they going to retaliate if they get engaged upon, if they are not expecting a fight. On the other side, 7C, again taking some damage. Masky Whitey, he was taken down low a little bit, but is going to heal up and is actually going to be ready for the side of Rising Nepal. They were in quite close quarters, but Rising Nepal slowly and steadily just moving away from this entire location and are looking forward to heading towards the zone. Early rotations, you have to be quite careful about them as well, but Rising Nepal, they were on a weird spot in this map, so rotating from here on out is pretty much going to be easy for them. Once again, the circle is sort of focused on the eastern side of the map. So teams in the western, basically the western half of the map, which are quite a lot, are going to be looking forward to a big fight coming in.
Yeah, I mean, when you have to get inside the circle, the fights are gonna come in handy out at that position. When you have to be in that, and NHN is kind of at a safer spot right now. Hype is kind of at a safer spot right now. Rivals is at a safer spot right now. If the circle shifts to either of the teams, I think that's gonna be something. But Hype is slowly and steadily moving towards NHN. I don't know. I mean, do they know there's a team out there? I don't think so. But will they be able to take a fight? I think so. Because that all of those things are going to change each and everything about each and every team, each and every format of the game. We'll have to see what happens. But meanwhile, Elementrix's squad, the squad that has been really good in today's day. One game they had first position, the other game they had third position. So obviously would like to go for that thing. And KS, the team that got a chicken in the previous one, is trying to take up a fight on INES, the team that is in top 2 overall, but is having a bad day. So we'll have to see how it changes everything for the teams and all those things. We'll have to see what happens when all the fights actually come. KS, Reed, Sanhok, and Miramar, pretty good players. If they is trying to find out a vehicle and drive it towards themselves, towards the players, we'll have to see what happens. But Badrev has a buggy out there, and Tier and Evil, obviously 3 players, 3 players cannot drive up a buggy, so they'll have to find up a new thing to get out of this situation, as the circle is coming slowly and steadily. He has this buggy for himself as well, but then the circle, there's a constant fight of players out here with the circle as well, and KS, these other players, will have to see what happens. And Rivals X, on the other hand, if you see Rivals, they did not lose up a player. They started with the 3-player strategy out there in this game. We'll have to see how it lands up to them. Meanwhile, INES Patrev outside the circle and drops down 1 player from KS. KS is marine and would like to finish him as well as soon as they can. This was a really good strategy. I mean, they are outside the circle. They did not find a vehicle, but they were ready for a fight. And if another player goes down for KS, that's going to be a bit of a trouble. But will they be able to spot him? Not yet. Now they can spot him, and now the guns are coming in blazingly out there as KS Miraz. He has stopped his vehicle. Why did he do that? But now he knows that he should not be doing that and will try to move into a safer spot as they can. But now the problem is on the hands of INES. 1600 meters is what they have to travel. They don't have a vehicle. Can this be a play zone fight once again?
I think this has to be a play zone fight for the players from the side of INES. They are going to be looking to find some vehicles for themselves. But Miraz, he is going to heal up Synox. He is quite low as well. And now, once again, this is interesting because fighting in the blue zone in those early stages could spell a lot of trouble for you. And for Drave was taking a lot of damage. He only had one first aid on himself, some bandages, and the distance to the circle was actually quite big, 1.6 kilometers, as Ushin pointed out. And in that situation, you have to basically use your first aid as late as you can, delay it as much as possible so that you can get the maximum benefit out of it. On the other side, talking about other teams, once again, the circle favoring the junkyard area. The southern side of Elazar is going to be there. La Benedita is going to be covered, and Minas Gralandus is going to be there as well. Graveyard team, DC, taking control of that entire location. They are going to be quite comfortable just sitting on the edge. And Vibes Knight is going to go for that drop, is going to get the AUG for himself. There was an 8x there as well, along with the ghillie suit, the sand ghillie suit.
I mean, yeah, the desert ghillie suit, obviously that's going to come in handy out in these range. And obviously, if you have a longer range area to shoot to, you can just spot players. But the players are not are going to have a bit difficulty to in spotting you. And look at this thing, exactly the thing that I was talking about. Wolves Den, Elementrix, Team Xtreme, 7C, INES, KS, Axe. There are so many teams outside the circle right now, and that is a good thing and a bad thing simultaneously. Rising Nepal's LXYT was spotted by KTM Action, and look at that thing. He had an incredible reaction time. He just lied down there and tried to spot his opponents. And Prerak is also one of the players that is actually just trying to make his way towards his teammate. He has been spotted once again, goes down and tries to spot the opponent, tries some shot, but then obviously the car was faster than his bullet, to be honest.
Not even a single one connecting, and the entire side of Rising Nepal, they are going to be happy about it. They're just going to drive away in their vehicles, all four of them, and will rotate into the next play zone. But Nepali Ho Ni once again coming with those rotations, did drop towards the side of Impala and are going to look to contest the center of the map. On the other side, JM T'Challa, Jyanmaara, they have been doing, their graphs just goes up and drops down with every single game. So we have to see as to how this squad does. They are quite volatile with their playstyles, because in one game you will see them playing really slow. In the other one, they will be the one engaging in every single combat and taking on basically every single team that they come in contact with or anyone they spot. DC Atom with that VSS. Oh, Miraz is heading in this direction, but the player being spotted is gonna force Miraz to hide behind that shed in close quarters. VSS and a UMP, the nade being cooked. If this lands perfectly,
this is gonna be something, but still it lands outside. Just imagine if he was popping up a first aid, but he has been spotted on the other direction. DC Atom takes him out. Phoenix OP actually takes him out, but that grenade throw, I mean, imagine the thing that it would have actually done. Obviously, it would have knocked him out. That's the same thing that it would have done, but still, that would have been incredible. But out here, KS Miraz is slowly and steadily bleeding out. The other players of KS are ready for a fight, but the team that is totally aggressive today is DC, not giving any chance to anyone that is standing in front of them.
Yeah, once again, KS, the players from the back were closing in, but DE Wadus is going to spot a vehicle in the distance, is going to try and land some shots, but once again, the distance is just too big and the vehicles are pretty fast, so the safe getaway coming in. On the other side, 7C are being punished for the late rotation. Pathetic being taken out by the blue zone. Oh boy, oh boy.
Okay, right now, the SKS, let's talk about the guns. Like, you have 8x, you have really good, loot on that stuff. So, I mean, SKS is one of the guns that you can use variably out there. And the circle, as you guys can see, 7C is still outside the circle. And circle, okay, that is a really good shift for the teams that are on the southern side. Rising Nepal, they have to make their way inside the circle. KS, Axe, has to make its way. Wolves Dictator, Wolf Squad, I mean, they have to make 7C, INES, DC, there are a lot of teams that are still not inside the circle right now, and then they'll have to pay extra effort to get inside the circle. NHN, they can be easily spotted by Hype Dalion, and Dalion is an incredible player. We have seen what he has done in the first game. He is ready for a fight. He is far away from his Hype squad, but if he spots out the players out there of NHN, I think he can wreak havoc on them. He just tries to he just tried to go for some sprays and trying to spot the opponents once again, but I think Hype is ready for a fight. if they get it. But for now, NHN is on the other direction, and I think some other player from RN was spotted by them, but they are not taking any fight. DE on the other hand, Wado, Shifu, and Rated are ready. Warhead takes down Will 69, and Demon takes down DE's CJ Sir. We haven't seen CJ Sir yet.
Yeah, we haven't seen his performance yet, so this could be one of the wild factors, one of the wild cards.
The
That
guy has not
yeah.
played that much of matches, if anything.
Yeah, he can be the surprise element coming in from everyone else. But on the other side, KTM, they are gonna go in on Wolves, and they are gonna drop 2 players from that side. Wolves looking in trouble. KTM with that Scar L coming in on the long distance. Akshay is actually trying to manage to connect those shots, and the players are collapsing on the entire squad in front of them. Wolves looking in trouble. Warhead is quite close on the higher ground. Rising Nepal is passing by in the background. You can see them, but Warhead is going to drop Dictator, Ironic, and Nude, the only 2 players surviving for the side of Wolves. Can they make it? Ironic, he was knocked down. He's going to take a lot of damage, and Prototype is going to take him out from the side of 5 nonetheless. A kill being stolen. Now, Wolves Nude, the only man left standing, is going to drop Warhead, who was quite close, but he has to be careful as well, because by now he should have realized that Hype, they are right next to them.
And
Ramos and Suraj, they are closing in.
KTM Ramos for the win is closing in, as Wolves Nude is low on HP right now. Would like to pop up a first aid, but won't be given a chance as Akshay takes down Wolves 10, the first team to get eliminated out here. But look at Suraj. Suraj is so low on health right now. He has been spotted on the other directions. KTM Akshay trying to move forward. He spotted the opponent in that direction and just sprayed on him. That is incredible. Suraj, he needs to pop up a first aid. Does he not have it, or is he trying to go for it? That's going to be one of the questions. But then Warhead needs a revival, and I think he will be getting a revival as we are talking. Akshay has an 8-time scope on his Carbiner 98k. Obviously, that's going to create a havoc when it comes to ridges and all those areas. But Jyanmaara, will they go for the drop, as Sonim is slowly and steadily trying to go for it? But Rated Sir is out there. Shifu Sir is out there. Hyperion takes a fight against Rising Nepal's Shivan Crazy. Drops him down, finishes him up. The Scar L is going really, really good right now. Rivals Divine, on the other hand, really close to the other players as well. And Dalion, he is doing some incredible work, popping out some heads. And Alex Whitey, can he spot him? A grenade. Will this grenade travel the distance? Will it go for that? Kobe goes for it, but will it actually create some havoc? That's one thing that we'll have to see. We Cash Gole, Reaper, and Lake are just, look at this thing. They are at the edge of the circle. This is a gamble. Maybe the circles, the next circle favor them, maybe it won't. So they'll have to see their rotations, because this is the 4th circle, and while they are just sitting out here, their opponents are just, trying to find a safer spot. And if they, they are late in their rotations, their opponent will be popping out their heads.
Yeah, the opponents are definitely going to be aiming for the heads, but now the person aiming is Lake OP on the squad survive. Knight just trying to connect those shots with the M16, but missing everything on point. Okay, talking about Junkyard, this reminds me of the game that Elementrix finished second in. They were on Junkyard, they had the high ground, but going for a 2-2 split in the last situation costed them that game. But this time, talking about Elementrix, Mr. Yozu and Poo Man, they were knocked down earlier. This is going to be interesting, but once again, coming back to Nepali Ho Ni, Rising Nepal and Hype, they are right behind each other. Those 2 squads just rotating together. But on the other side, KTM turning towards DC, and Vibe Zarad is going to be dropped as well. INES, they are looking to contest the position from the side of Nepali Ho Ni. But once again, you have to be careful, because Vibes was behind them. This fight is happening in quite of an open area. The ridges are there for cover, but if you are focusing towards Nepali Ho Ni, who are in the low ground in Junkyard, and if Vibes actually charge in on you from behind, you are going to be in a lot of trouble.
That's going to be a bit of a game change, and a big game changer, if anything. And Rising Nepal trying to take up the fight out here against NHN. As Rising Nepal's players are going down, Evil Eye takes on Alex Whitey. Can the kill be stolen? That's going to be one of the things. Wadu Sir goes on with the Groza on 7C Master Whitey. We'll have to see what happens and how it changes the pace of the game, as Evil Eye is trying to spot some players as well. Lake OP, if you can see in the left-hand side, he can be easily spotted, but he's trying to steal a kill out there. Can he steal the kill of Alex Whitey? That's going to be something, and yes, he does. In an incredible way, Lake OP has 1 kill for the team as well. And Elementrix Poo Man, if they can spot the Vibes Red Eye, that's going to be something. And KTM Suraj, he is still on that low HP right now. It's been 2 or 3 circles. He is still on that low HP.
Oh man, how is this man Man still alive in this game. But look at this, Elementrix, they could be in trouble at any given second. KS, they are closing the distance from the Ray, and Vibes is right in front of them. This one Ridge actually predicted Elementrix for so long, but DC Atom being taken out by the Blues.
Play zone is coming in handy right now.
Vibes, Zarad, he moved in the wrong direction. He moved in towards the players from the side of KTM. Who are they going to engage on them? But Hype Gurkha is going to take out Prerak from the side of Rising Nepal, and that is going to be it for that squad. Look at this. Zarad, the Molotov being thrown, the nade coming in from Ramos is going to take him out. Atom on the other side is going to be taken out by the Blue Zone, and KTM, they have pretty much secured their position. But the Drave, oh boy.
But Brave has an MK14 and a Scarl, and he's just popping out people with that, and KSFT with that AKM, and it's in Gole takes on DC6 OP. Gole with his own vehicle.
Oh,
why did just
and
that
he still
happen?
gets the kill after.
Yeah, I mean, how did that happen? And the teams are getting eliminated out here because this is the 5th circle, ladies and gentlemen. Junkyard zone is always a bad zone if it comes to the fight, and that's one thing that is happening. The zone has shifted from Junkyard. Jyanmaara is inside the circle. TDP is inside the circle. Mr. Yuzu gets out there, and I think that might be the end of Elementrix as well. But there is still one player left from Elementrix, and INES Putra, this MK14 with a red dot is what he is using right now. That's something incredible. Can he actually make the maximize his usage out of it? And Rivals has been spotted out there. Hype is really looking good with 4 kills, but the car is not, as the vehicle is not at all moving out there.
It is stuck.
Yeah,
SK taking up some shots from the side of, where was that from? I think from the players from the side of TDP, and they are going to be in a bit of trouble on the other side. Rivals, they are going in as well. And Hype, once again, SK trying to take out that guy.
He's not reloading his gun. Why? 17 bullets in one and 11 bullets in the other gun. He should be reloading them right now, as yes, now he does it. Good call.
Good call. I think even he realized that quite a bit late. But Hype slowly and steadily moving towards the side of TDP. Is this fight going to happen? The nade from Rival Noob is going to drop. Red Eye Knight being taken out as well with that Scar L, and KTM, they are going to turn and take away the kill on Red Eye. Play Zone taking down KS Synox, and KS Axe once again being eliminated from this game quite early on. Miramar.
He just jumped and died. And I mean, see, one thing. The team that was doing really, really good in the previous game, they are falling short once again. And that was one thing. High Prototype, he cannot be saved out in this as TDP Puffy. Oh, and it's in Gole. Puffy was trying to steal the kill, but he could not. And then Gole gets his kill right now. And Hype is back with 3 players. And they are looking really, really bad. One thing about Hype is when they start falling, they just fall short of each and everything. Vibes gets eliminated on 12th position as we are talking. And it's in Vcash goes down by Rivals Near. And Vibes Knight obviously getting eliminated out there for his team, and the Rivals gets that kill. Team 7C with just 1 player remaining. Deadeyes Guys with one player remaining. KTM Rage with 1 player remaining. Which team will be the next one to get eliminated? The answer is right in front of you, ladies and gentlemen. KTM Rage goes on, and look at that! What just happened out there? Gole gets eliminated by Hype SK4. The vehicle gets a blast out there. Happy Diwali. DE Reddits out there, pops out one more head, and Lakhe OP, he's really, really close to Rivals players. And will it be? Yes, it will be. A player down by Rivals Noob. I mean, fights are happening in an incredible pace out in Miramar.
Deadeye Guy is being eliminated from the game, and Poo Poo Man from the side of Elementrix is the only man left standing. Puffy is going to spot out yet another one, and Nepali Ho Ni are going to be eliminated on the 9th position. Once again, Rivals, they have been knocking down a lot of players, but still, they do not have the kills for them yet. INES, they are going to be in a bit of trouble. Evil Eye and Tear are looking to rotate in towards the zone, but Jyanmaara right now have a really good position in that compound. Poo Poo Man is right behind them, so he can actually create a backstab for Jyanmaara if they get distracted by the players that are closing in towards them. Right now, that is going to be Hype making it in to the play zone. But they have to be careful.
They have to be more than careful right now. See, there's a team on their right, there's a team on their left. SK49 takes on Rivals Noob. This guy has 2 kills right now, 6 kills for the whole team. But then, can he make his 3rd kill confirmation as he has spotted the players? He has taken one of them down, but the other one is giving up a revive. Can he actually move forward? Because moving forward is important, as just in less than 10 seconds, the next circle is going to commence. 6th circle out there, making it 7 for the next circle. INES moving in forward. They are going to be contested by Hype as Gurkha actually spots them. Will he try to go for some sprays? Yes, but then a headshot comes in, and Dalion goes down by TDP Puppy on the other end. SK49 takes on Rival Slayer. Obviously, that was incredible. We'll have to see what happens out in all those fights.
And TDP with Sarga is going to drop But Ray from the side of INES and Team Hype has been taken out of this game. What just happened? TX Demon with that nade is gonna finish off Badrev as well. INES, they are in trouble. They are gonna be in a lot of trouble. TDP on top, working hard for his team. Team Xtreme are in trouble. Captain was dropped earlier, but Demon is quite close and Niku is far behind, so he can actually come in for the revive for his team. But the smoke being there is just gonna give him some protection. It is gonna dissipate soon. Look at this. 7C Hades, he is being really patient. Niku is gonna be dropped as well by TDP Puffy, and that is just gonna leave Demon the only man left standing for the team. Rival Slayer, he is trying to take on the squad that was coming in towards him, JM, but he has to be careful. Puffy taking a lot of damage, is going to be dropped to 50% health. On top is going to take out Demon once again, being knocked, and Rival Slayer.
That was kind of bad for Slayer, but I think he should be getting a revive. Nope, he will be finished by INES Evil. Actually, that was a kill given. That should not have been in that situation. I mean, Rival was started playing 3-man, and now they are left to 2 people. As Jyanmaara is also trying to see some other players. If they just spot them, they are in a really good position. So is TDP, as TDP's players are fairly distributed, and they are ready for a fight. Poo Man is so low on health, but can he just make it to 1 kill as Niku is slowly and steadily bleeding out, and Poo Man has been spotted by On Top, and that was the end of Elementrix, and Niku will also be taken down. I mean, the kill was for Elementrix, but it goes on TDP's hands, and On Top was exactly looking the right direction, but obviously the smoke did not help him, and out there Jyanmaara has also been spotted by this player. This player has an incredible spotting skills, to be honest.
Yeah, incredible spotting skills, and he has the mechanics and the aim to prove it as well. On the other side, spots 2 more. Captain and Demon being spotted behind that one. They are going to be shot at, but Soneem with that nade is going to make sure that INES is not part of the top 5.
He has spotted everyone, but not 7C Hades. That is on his right. Can he just spot him? Because that is going to be a bit of trouble for TDP if he does not do it. Jyanmaara, on the other hand, going for some throwables as they need those smokes right now. Jyanmaara moving in forward for TX. Can that be their fight? As TX is looking forward to take an incredible fight. 2 players versus 4 players. That is what is happening out there. Captain and Demon, as T'Challa, Gunner and Wong are moving in forward. This grenade, can it do some damage? I think it will if it just pops on them. As Captain is moving forward, grenade pops in and he has been spotted. Captain goes down out there, and this is going to be an incredible fight, but still Utsaga is moving forward and Captain has been taken out, and this was the end as TX Demon just with 1 HP takes on 1, takes down 2. That is incredible, but Team Xtreme goes out of the fight. That was an incredible, almost saved by him. And 7C is taken down TDP Puffy. TDP on top. No one looked at him. Now he's ready for a fight. He's outside the circle. Does not care about it. Doku, one survivor out there. Utsaga on the other. And can he take this fight as 7C Hades has to move inside the circle as well. 0-0. That is the time. 7 circle. And he has to get in. Takes the circle. Zone damage. And takes down another player. Doku.
What?
Utsaga with 1 HP. Okay, Hades has been done for. But that was a brilliant effort by this guy.
Yeah, that was actually really incredible. He dropped the last player so low, even knocked him down, but a 1v3 play coming in, that was incredible from 7C Hades. TDP, who had this game in their control, are gonna be in a really bad situation. Rivals and Jyanmaara are trying to fight this one out. Noob being taken down. Jyanmaara T'Challa, he is gonna be in trouble. Saraga being spotted out is gonna be knocked out as well.
Okay, 3 teams remaining. Ladies and gentlemen, 8 people alive out here. Jyanmaara with their 4 players, 1 bleeding out. He should be getting a revival. TDP surviving out there. Doku and On Top needs a revival, and Rivals is divine. Rivals wants to make their way into the game. TDP wants chicken dinner. Jyanmaara wants it, but won't be getting in as TDP gets eliminated by a grenade from Rivals. 1v4, a solo versus squad situation for Rivals is divine. Players have split up, and Sonim is rotating from one direction. They know the location, and he will be taken down in an incredible way. Rivals gets eliminated on the 2nd position, and Jyanmaara, I mean, this team with all 4 players remaining has a chicken dinner.
Yeah, that was an amazing performance and a really patientful play coming in from their side. On the other side, Rivals also played an incredible game. Started out with 3 players and actually made it into the top 2. TDP, just a little bit, I won't call that misplay, because 7C Hades, he was actually really smart.
1 HP, 3 players.
Yeah, that guy did not move at all, did not fire a single bullet, and no one actually expected him to be there. But still coming out, getting those 2 knocks, finishing one of them off, and then taking down the other player as well. that was just incredible from
That
the man.
house was kind of half inside the blue circle, half
Yeah, he
outside the
was-
blue circle.
yeah.
That's why no one actually spotted him. They were like, that house is kind of at the blue zone. Why would someone be there?
Exactly.
And then pops out one person. He's like, surprise! Tick, tick, tick. One down, tick, 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 two
That
down.
was a 200 IQ play. That was a 200 IQ play.
That was incredible. I mean, that was more than anything. And
Yeah.
he took down 3 players. He was outside the circle, taking the zone damage as well. Still managed to take down Doku Doku.
Yeah, and once again, closing combats just working out for them. On the other side, as you actually predicted, Junkyard ended up being the demise for the side of Nepali Ho Ni as well, because rotating out of there was difficult from the start. They were right on the edge of the zone, right at the edge of the circle, and when the next circle would form, if it wasn't on Junkyard, then they would have to run up the hill. And going up the hill is going to be pretty hard, especially when there are like 4 squads present already fighting.
And this game could have been Rivals' game. The place where they went short was, if you remember Rivals' Slayer, he was driving a vehicle,
Yeah.
got knocked out by his own vehicle,
Yeah.
and someone else stole his skill. I mean, the team started with 3 men. But if that thing would not have happened, then that player might have been alive, or if anything, would have been giving an adequate firepower to take out more kills. Rivals has 6 kills right now, if I'm not
Yeah.
wrong or right something. But still, that amount of kills was a lot to take the team, fighting when the final team, Jyanmaara, was rushing at them.
Yeah, and once again, okay, Rising Nepal, wherein they drop along with 7C towards the extreme southwestern side of the map and then rotating in towards the basically the Middle
Yeah.
Eastern side. That was actually a really long rotation coming in from both those teams, and you saw them sort of prioritize the zones instead of actually fighting and racking up the kills. So that actually might have cost them a couple of points, especially the side of Rising Nepal, who actually got eliminated quite early on. But once again, sitting on the first position, I'll come back to this point as well. In the group stages, Rising Nepal not doing too strong. They were there middle of the tier performance, but this time, as soon as the semifinals started, the first day in itself, they just blew everyone's mind. And the performance, the style of gameplay that they brought in, it was incredible. But from there on out, again, still yesterday and today as well, the performance is sort of shaky.
Yeah, I mean, that's one thing. Rising Nepal, INES, 2 teams, they have been in that shaky performance. They
Yeah.
have the capability of doing good. That's why they are at the top. But still, I don't know if the synergy is changing or what is changing, or maybe the teams that are on the down area, they are picking up in a really good spot. That might be one of the things. And then there's always one player who is at an incredible spot, and
Yeah.
that is the MVP, the most valuable player. So let's actually have a look at who is the MVP for this team. As 2 players had 3 kills, if I'm not wrong, but
Yeah.
Sonim with an incredible damage strat, 756 is out there with the MVP spot. 2456 is the survival time, and 5.25 kilometers is his distance covered. I mean, those 3 kills were really good.
Yeah, they were really good. But talking about good stuff, let's have a look at the game standings and see how teams are doing, where they are right now. Jyanmaara sitting on the first position. Rivals X, they are going to be third. Second, Trust D Process, they are going to be third. INES, they are taking the 4th spot for themselves. And once again, Hype making it into the top 5. That is once again just an incredible play coming from
Hype
the
has
team.
4 placement points, but then the kill points is one thing that actually is taking them up. Team 7C, 8 points for the placement, but then 2 kills. I mean, this is,
Yeah.
he could have made more points. Hades, he could have actually, if he had time, he could have eliminated the whole TDP. Just Utsarga was the one
Yeah.
player that was left, and Nepali Ho Ni is out there on 8 with Team Xtreme on 7. But then the bottom table, Rising Nepal is still out here. That is looking good, bad, decent, I don't know, but still is kind of at a difficult stop.
Look at Elementrix. They had 5 placement points, just 1 kill point, and that sort of dropped them really
I
low.
mean, see,
Yeah.
KTM Rage has 1 placement point and 5 kill points. Look at it. Do you see the graph out
Yeah,
there?
kills get priority if you have the same points for yourselves.
Yeah.
Also, KTM Race, they are going to be on the 9th. But moving on, let's have a look at the overall standings as well and see as to how this game standing actually affect where the teams are right now.
1 point for INES
Oh.
and drops them to first position.
Yeah.
The difference overall was before the previous game, they had 12-point difference. Now INES has 13 points, 14 points, sorry, in this game, and 14 points more than Rising Nepal, and that just drops them to a 139 and 138 for Rising Nepal. Xtreme is out there. They are unfazed if a team does good or bad. Nepali Ho Ni is making up a comeback, but still, team hype. For the first time, we are seeing them in the top 7 scenario right now, so that's a good start for them.
Yeah, good start for them. But another interesting thing, look at PN Gaming. Still have 8 games on them. Still sitting on the 5th position quite comfortably, and
not playing, but still sitting there.
Not playing, still being there just says a lot about
how
this team performs.
But just after one game, the next game, if the team gets 1 or 2 points, PN Gaming won't be from 5th. They are going to drop to a 9th or 10th position or something.
Definitely going to happen. But if PN Gaming actually continue that form, they are going to be able to make it towards the final. Moving on to the next 8, we have Rivals 8, Rivals X on the 9th, Team 7C on the 10th, R3D Devils on the 11th, Trust D Process on the 12th, 1971 Gladiators on the 13th, Elementrix on the 14th, Damn Classy, they are going to be 15th, and Wolf's Den is going to be 16th. And now let's have a look at the danger zone as per se. T2K on the 17th, KTM Rage on the 18th, Salty Squad on the 19th, KS Axe still not making it into the top 16, are going to be on the 20th position, Ultimate Bang is going to be the 21st, Vibes is going to be the 22nd, Team Pyro, they are going to be the 23rd, and A1 Esports are going to be the 24th.
A1 Esports, I mean, they are at a bad spot right now. It's the high time that they need to think what bad has been done to them. I mean, this team had an incredible run when it came to the qualifiers, and right now they are struggling to survive, and that is a bad thing for the team right now. They'll have to maybe after the day of today is over, they'll just go back to the drawing board and would like to see the mistakes and all.
A1 Esports, they are going to be coming back tomorrow, so we have to see if tomorrow they start picking up the pace and they start carrying themselves up into the top 16.
Right now, considering today's last game, they just have 5 matches left, and those 5 matches are the 5 matches in which they have to come from 24th to 16, while all other teams are trying to go for it.
Yeah, exactly. And one of those days you just have to rely on other people to make mistakes and mess up. But if you're already sitting at the bottom, no matter how many mistakes they make there, you're still pretty much going to be there, because they are still at least getting 1 point above you. So we'll be back after a short break with the last game for Erangel. You guys stay tuned and keep watching. Hello everyone and welcome back. We are going to be jumping into the last game for the day being played on Erangel, and this is Ocean Sharma trying to be Warren Super Johnny John. And once again, what are you doing, man?
I was just trying to go for it, but then last game of Erangel, and we are in the match already, ladies and gentlemen. As you guys can see, from shooting range to Lipovka, it starts from Zarki, and Vibes like to go to Zarki. We'll see if Vibes is actually going in that area or not, as now is when the jump button actually comes, and Vibes is the first one to jump out. And yes, they are going to Zarki. NHN Gole, the Superman. We'll have to see what actually happens and how the fights actually go. As Rose Rock, Yasna, School Shelter, Prison Milta, a good area to actually drop down, and NHN goes to Stalba Kamishki. They can actually go for it, but then they are choosing Georgopol for the first time. We'll have to see how this drop change actually goes on. But they have 7Cs. 7Cs go to the Giorgio top area. KTM is following them. Elementrix is coming towards them.
Oh, but KTM, they are going to be contested with that Georgopol drop unless NHN actually overshoot it and decide to land on the other side. Which is going to be interesting, which is going to result them to either move to Ghatka or try and go for a longer rotation. On the other side, I know one team that's not going to be happy with this trajectory. That is definitely going to be Elementrix, who like the military base for themselves. But once again, things being changed by Nepali Ho Ni, that can actually change the progress and the way this game actually goes, because they always go towards that Kamishki Stalber sort of a situation.
Oh, look at the circle! Look at the circle! Look at that circle! I mean, what?
Yeah.
Just happened?
RNG. That's the randomness of the game.
I have no words for it. I'm just stuck for words. But meanwhile, NHN and Wolves, they can have an early fight out here, and one of the teams can go for an early exit. Look at Lake. He brings up a car for his team. Obviously doing the good work out there, but then he can be spotted easily as now Wolves knows that there's a team. See, I'll tell you one thing. The houses where Gole and Lakhe is, that is known as front six, because there are 6 houses in the 2 split section. The player where Reaper is, that is known as deep 6. And talking about fights, Wolves, I mean, we were not talking about fights, but then let's talk about fights as Vcash drops out the first player, that is Wolves Dictator. He has been dropped out. Ironic, Newt, and 6ix9ine are the players left. We'll have to see what happens, as Reaper can actually give an adequate cover to Vcash as he is moving forward. Lakhe and Gole can take that left hand area and can take other players as well. As Newt is going for the revival of Dictator, I don't think so if he'll be able to reach out. But then there's one more squad ready for a fight. That is KTM squad, as KTM is looking in forward with their holographic sight in, and the smokes have been dropped. Players don't have helmet OS, some players from Wolves side, but then still they are ready for a fight. KTM Suraj, on the other hand, is ready for a fight for himself as well. And Gole, he wants to move forward. He does not want to give a chance to his opponents. He wants those kills, as it is more than important for the team right now.
Yeah, that is going to be important, but Dictator, he is quite low. He has to be careful. On the other side, ironic, he could get collapsed upon by the players from Nepali Ho Ni. And one of the interesting things is, we were expecting KTM to be the team that Nepali Ho Ni were going to land with. Wolves are going to be in a lot of trouble once again. Vcash just landing those shots, ironic, being dropped to 50% health. And in these early stages, you will not have enough healing. As we see, 5 bandages, just 1 energy drink. How much can you actually pull off with that, knowing that if a fight happens, if you go down, you aren't going to be healthy afterwards? 6ix9ine just dropping Gole.
Yeah, with an Uzi, and Newt takes on Vcash. I mean, the fight that NHN started, they are pretty much in a bad spot right now. Newt and 6ix9ine, look at them moving. Dictator has been spotted by Reaper. OP, he has been taken on alongside one more player. Dictator also falls down. It's a 2v2 situation right now, as Newt is moving forward just to confirm the kills that they have dropped out, and he spots one player, obviously bye-bye, and the second one is on the other side of the building. But right now the pressure has been put up on Nepali Ho Ni, but Lakhe knows a grenade has been coming out there. He has popped up a grenade. A smoke from Wolves Newt side. Can he actually go for it? I don't think so, but the grenade on the upper edge obviously is not going to do any damage as of now. A smoke on the lower direction, that is really good strategy by Wolves, as they are trying to confuse NHN's players. Vcash is still can be revived, but then Lakhe and Reaper will have to be on their toes to take up the fight. And Dictator, as he has been revived for the second time in this fight by 6ix9ine, we'll have to see what happens as the fight commences. Reaper, I think Reaper is moving backwards. That's like either it's a good strategy or it's a good flank if it comes from his direction. But still, Newt is ready for a fight. Vcash can be spotted now by Wolves Newt, and if he does, obviously he'll go for the second kill.
Yeah, we have to see if Reaper is actually going in for a longer flank, or is he trying to actually get away and be the sort of a backup for his team. Like if Lake dies, Reaper is left alive, then he will play a survival game for his team. But now the smoke coming in, weak Ash, he is not going to be revived. He's not going to be getting that revive. He's just going to bleed out and die. Nude getting that kill for himself. But now Lake, he's out in the open. The smoke is there for cover, but he needs to be fast and he needs to run away. The UMP on Nude can actually wreak havoc on him.
I mean, the 4-time scope that he had, obviously that's going to do something. And I see a buggy coming from near them. Which player is in that buggy? I think that might be 7C, if I'm not wrong. Obviously, 7C was the one that dropped out to the George North area, but then they are trying to move in as well. Meanwhile, Vibes, if you guys can see, Vibes is moving. Okay, that is not 7C. Vibes Zarad, if you can see, is out in this area, and he is trying to take a solo fight from the two squads that are ready with the gun battles out there. Lake is still surviving. He is proned up right now, ready to take up a fight. If Wolves try to move forward, Wolves Nude is on 75% HP, so is 6ix9ine, and so is Dictator. Dictator is on 50% HP, and look at this. The best thing is, teams have started giving their priority to the circle as teams are moving into the circle, and so many teams are inside the circle. Elementrix on the one side, they are thinking if it's a military zone, it will be there, and the other team's DE is on the other side of the bridge. Obviously, the teams are ready for their fights. If they want to go for it, they will go for it. And I think the call has been given by Wolves as well, as they want to make up their move in the circle. Ironic and Newt are the two players that are on the, forward edge of the fight. But I think they will try to move to backward. Yes, they are moving backward for the car. The Darcy that is waiting. But will that be, oh my god, barely survives it. But still, see, any survival is a good survival, be it by 1 HP or by 100 HP.
Yeah, exactly. You win a fight with 1 HP or you lose it by 1 HP. It's the winning that matters, and does not matter if you were sitting at 100 or just one afterwards. And Wolves, they are going to look to get out of this entire situation, but the car is just going to get stuck on that rock.
That was something that sometimes happens out there, and obviously they'll need to find a new car, and Ironic has it, but that car is one that they'll have to respect a lot. Obviously, that car cannot be stuck. If that gets stuck, then they'll be on their toes to move out there. And Rivals, on the other hand, they were trying to make up a move inside the zone. INES on their usual drop-off for Novo Repne. They have a US out there, the open US. We call it the level 1 US for some reason. We have a level 1 US for them, and we'll have to see how, they just make up a move. And Rivals Divine was spotted by DE Shufusa with that M4 and a holographic sight. Noob is trying to make up a move as well, and DE in a safer spot. Obviously, on one edge of the bridge is DE, on the other edge is Elementrix. Which team is going to contest which? That is also going to be a bit of a question, to be honest.
Yeah, that is definitely going to be a question, but the question so far is going to be, what were Nepali Ho Ni thinking, changing their drop-off location when the trajectory actually favored them for once?
Yeah.
On the other side, look at the other teams. Elementrix, they straight up went for a military base, and Rivals are going to be caught out by Orange. He's going to get one drop. He is going to look to finish the guy off, but the car being blown up is going to provide the cover. Now Rivals, they are going to collapse on Orange. He has given away his location. Noob is running behind that small wall that's in front of him. On the other side, the players from the side of Rivals, Slayer is being spotted. The Molotov is just going to overshoot Orange, and he is going to get out of this entire situation close to Fairy Pier.
But still, he is trying to go to his player, that is Poo Poo Man, as Rival squad is moving forward. Trigger has had a revive right now. Noob is moving to that house. I don't think so that they have the information. I think now they have the information as they find Orange out there. Rivals Divine has been taken down by Elementrix Poo Poo Man with that Uzi spray. Obviously, that was an incredible thing by Elementrix's Poo Poo Man, and Orange is also ready for a fight. Now it's the house fight. The house is the favor of Rivals Noob, and they are trying to spot the players. They are trying to shot the players if they can take any player down. But then Divine has also gotten a revive right now, as Slayer gives him a revive. A pretty good team and strategy out there. And Poo Poo Man, I think they are going to use that Dacia to move forward. And yes, they have sat in the Dacia. They sat in the Dacia, and they'll try to rotate into another direction, or if not, they'll try to meet their teammates. That is really important. Mr. Huzu and Chaga, look at Chaga. He's a lone survivor in military base.
Yeah.
And Rising Nepal is coming to that area. The zone is going for a southern shift right now. That can change everything.
But if Elementrix are actually Orange and Poo Poo Man, if they're actually looking to group up with their teammates, they have to be really careful about it, because there was one squad that was looking to camp at the bridge, and that is going to be tricky unless both Poo Poo Man and Orange and Mr. Yuzu and Shagar, all four of them actually come in at the same time and surprise the entire squad. But the first airdrop coming in with the AUG and the extended map for the snipers
NHN and Wolves, this fight is still happening out here. I'm like, this is a better love story than Twilight, if anything. The teams are still fighting each other, and NHN is left with 2 players. I mean, they are trying to wreak damage on the team of Wolves, but still, they are the one that are being forced out of a fight. And Wolves 6-9, and look at this, the Sholay bike once again coming in. And one best thing is that Wolves 6-9 has an Uzi. He can just, go all in with that by sitting in the back of a bike seat, but no doubt he chooses to switch his seat. Obviously here you can use any gun, but this is one thing about bike, you can only use SMGs in the back seat of the bike.
Yeah, quite tricky to play around that. But on the other side, one thing that I found hilarious was we were thinking I was thinking they were gonna go in for a chase on the players from Nepali Ho Ni, but they had enough of it. But yeah, what a fight coming in between DC and Hype. Did they just jump? Did Atom just jump and abandon ship? And the vehicle being blown up is gonna result in Steelix OP being taken out of this game. Are they going to turn around and go in for Atom? That is something that we have to see.
I mean, the important fact is, did they spot Atom out there? Because for them, all they know is that the ship has been blown. So all they know is all the players might have died. And they think they might have been just one player in that. But look at Rivals not taking up any ship right now. All they want is to find a safer spot. And if they are going for it, they are going for it. This is a different strategy. I mean, how many times do you see players, swimming in Erangel to find out if the zone is shifting out here? Imagine the zone shifts to the northern side. Just imagine.
Oh, that is actually going to be risky for these guys who are at, I think, the southernmost point, heading towards the southernmost point of this map. On the other side, the blue zone dishing out its chip damage, the slight chip damage on all these players that are stuck in it. Utsarga, he's being chased by the players from the side of JM, and they have to be careful this time around, because as soon as he stops his car, he is going to be a dead man walking. But the distance being, they went in the other direction, so Utsarga, he is going to be pretty happy about that. But on the other side, now they are going to come in close. They are right parallel to each other. Utsarga, you need to head towards your team as fast as you can, otherwise the man is going to be in a hell of trouble.
I mean, he will be in a hell of trouble, and that trouble should not be happening out here. We'll have to see what actually, what game presents to them. Wolves it's still in a bad spot right now, as Dictator and 6ix9ine are kind of on a low HP. Newt is out there. Ironic is on the good HP, but then they are being contested by KTM, and the circle is gonna hit. The circle shifted, and I think the circle is a military circle, if I'm not wrong. And we'll have to see where the circle overall is. But for now, 1000 meters is the distance that Wolves Newt has to go. And yes, this is kind of a military circle. Imagine, Varun, imagine if the circle goes on the bridge and it stays on the bridge or anything for that hard shift or something. But for now, it's a military circle. KTM is trying to spot some players. Akshay, he can spot Ironic, but Ironic spots him, takes him down to 10 HP. Ironic gets spotted on the other direction as well. He's still trying to go for it. Just one shot, and yes, that one shot hits Akshay. He has spotted Warhead as well. He's trying to go for him. Drops him down as well. 2 players haven't dropped her, but then Ironic was taken down by KTM Ramos. KTM Ramos gets down by Wolves Newt, and for KTM, just Suraj is left. Look at Wolves Newt. He is moving in forward. If he spots Suraj, that is going to be the end game for KTM right now. That will be the first squad that gets wiped out here. But then Suraj is ready. He's trying to give some revive. But then Newt is moving forward. Will that be it? Is that going to be it? As he has spotted Suraj, and that's going to be the end game for KTM. Thanks for coming. The first squad to get eliminated is right in front of you guys. And Wolves is looking strong with 6 kills. 2 kills from NHN.
Yeah.
And rest of the kills from
Wolves, they are actually having a pretty solid game this time around, but once again, the blue zone is going to be there a little slow on their rotations. They could be punished for this. Ironic, he is so low. The heal, if it doesn't kick in on time, he is going to be in trouble, but the bandages are going to save him for a little bit till he gets some first aids from his teammates. On the other side, Utsarga and TDP, they are going to look to rotate after they lost their first player, Puffy, in the early stages of the game. But the second airdrop is going to bring the Arctic Warfare Magnum, the AWM, with the extended quick draw mag for the rifles and the military vest, helmet and backpack. So teams are going to be pretty happy about it. And Ocean, once again, like yesterday, your predictions are pretty much on point.
On top.
No, the circle being close to the bridge.
Yeah, the circle, it has to stay close to the bridge, but the major factor will be now the circle is going to make a pretty tremendous shift in this one.
Yeah.
The next one, and that is where the teams are going to be, at a bad spot. Hype, look at this. Hype has the land for themselves, kind of. I mean, they are still struggling to swim. They kind of have a land for themselves, and if they spot DC, we will see crates forming, as Hype was a squad that, you know, eliminated one player from DC by doing that boat blast or something, like whatever you want to call it. But still, there are players of DC that are still surviving out there. And yeah, that was the boat as we were talking. Rivals Trigger 6 on Elementrix is Mr. Hughes. Elementrix kind of in the bad spot. And Noob, yeah, Pro Noob, he can actually spot some players. That was a good area, but still, one major factor is Hype has to get into the zone. Not the whole of Hype, but Dalion, he has to get into the zone, and that is going to be a tricky one because he is away from his teammates, he is away from all the directions, and he can be easily spotted. Now he's going to take the zone damage in, as well as the zone chip damage is going to be a major damage right now. Team Hype's players are outside the circle. NHN now making their way into the circle, and Damn Classy is outside the circle. That's going to be a bad thing for them. They'll have to find out a way to get inside the circle, but DC, as you see, Atom can make inside the zone, and he can just sit on that shore.
Yeah.
And that can change everything for Team Hype right now, as, you know, they'll be spotted. Dalion will be spotted, and he can be taken out in the game. And we are down to 15 teams right now. And look at this. Elementrix has that higher edge advantage, but still Mr. Hughes was taken down. But then Divine, if he gets spotted, that will be a worthy kill from him. And Hype Dalion, he chooses not to give his kill to anyone, as Play Zone eats him up.
And Pro Noob is going to be taken out by the play zone as well. But talking about this situation, Elementrix, they are going to be split up. Rivals on the other side. Slayer spotting out. SK49 from the side of Hype is going to knock him down with that M16 of his. But once again, you have to be careful, mate. You are giving away information about your location to the players right next to you. That is going to be Elementrix and Sugar and Orange. They are going to get into those vehicles. But, oh, they left Orange behind. They left Orange behind. Rivals can actually collapse on him, and that is exactly what happens. They knock him down. They are going to finish him off. That was a free kill. That was a free kill being given away to the side of Rivals.
Yeah, I mean, that was a really different situation by Elementrix. They don't do that, but SK4 now also goes down by Rivals there, as he has his kill in his hands right now. Rivals Divine, he knows where Elementrix's players are, and plays don't eats up Hype Prototype as well. So Hype is down to just one player. That will be Hype Gurkha YT for the team right now. And Divine is good with Rivals, is good with all their players out there. Slayer wants to move in, but he has been spotted by someone. He has been shot up by someone. We'll have to see how it all changes the game for him, as well as Rivals Trigger is moving into the circle as well. Poo Poo Man and Mr. Yuzu and Shagar. We'll have to see how they change everything for the game and how they do it. And Sincere gets spotted out there, and Rival Slayer actually takes him down, and they actually try to take him. And obviously, see, he's inside the water. But will that be enough? That is one thing we will have to see, as Sincere gets down. And yes, that was an easy kill for Rivals out there. So that was something. But then TX Captain also goes on. KS Hareed eats him up. But meanwhile, on the other hand, look at that. Rising Nepal's LXYT. That was a long range shot if he had to take it, but he did not, nevertheless.
Yeah, that is definitely going to put the entire team in trouble. But once again, Rising Nepal, they are fighting pretty much at an even height against that squad. But KS Meraz, he's going to be in a bit of trouble. He's trying to rush in towards the tower. But he does not know there are two players from the side of Team Xtreme in there. Niku was right behind him, but Niku is going to be taken down as well. And Demon was taken down. Kazi was taken down. Team Xtreme being wiped out in an instant.
They were obliterated. That was just, you know, the pure obliteration, the pure domination that the team just did out there. And that was something. But the circle is moving its shift towards the land side area, and Rising Nepal, the team that has to step up to the game, that has to step up to the competition, is on the second spot right now. They need that first spot badly. INES Evil Eye goes down by Elementrix. Shaga's M24. That guy is a pure genius when it comes to snipers out here and the bolt actions, and that's one thing that we are seeing. And look at NHN. Did you just see NHN?
Yeah.
They're on the downside of the bridge.
That is going to be putting the team in a bit of trouble. But I want to come back to this. How does Shagar find so many M24s? I love the gun too. See, I don't get it that much.
If anyone finds M24, they're just like, I got supplies M24, and Shagar just picks it out, and that is one thing that he does. And look at NHL. You see Wolves. The downside to the Wolves is NHN. Nepali Ho Ni, they'll have trouble getting on the upper side if they get spotted or something. And meanwhile, the circle is going to shift, and this shift is going to be the most important one. We'll have to see where the shift actually happens, because this shift, the centralized shift, that means Wolves has to move and NHN has to move. And that movement of NHN is going to change everything for Nepali Ho Ni. INES currently inside the circle. We'll have to see what happens. And DE, look at this thing. If INES spots DE, they're going to just change everything for the team.
Yeah, INES position is actually perfect, because in this entire area, this is going to be the peak point. And from there on out, if they actually play their cards right, they can actually get the chicken dinner in this game. But Wolf's Dictator, he was dropped as he tried to rush in towards the players from the side of 7Cs, and that is going to be it. But they left 2 players behind who are trying to trade the damage with them. But once again, Block AOP being taken by KS Harid. That low ground just not working for the side of Nepali Ho Ni, and Team Hype, they are going to be taken out as well. And the other 2 players, Ironic and Newt, they're going to go charging in. Can they make it to the other side of this bridge? 7C, the players are low, but the shots are being fired once again. Newt is going to take down Hades, and Pathetic, he was on the low ground, but Demon OP, he's still there. They have to be careful. Ironic is going to smoke this entire place up, but can he actually make it this time? Aruz, he has been revived, is going to jump on the other side of the bridge and is going to go for the heal. But JM Sonim is going to try and land those long-range shots. Yeah.
Wolves gets eliminated out in that thing, but Pathetic on the lower side was out there, and Sonam gets spotted, and JM T'Challa takes him down. Jyanmaara is taking this fight from the upper area, and that leaves ZE in a really bad spot. Rising Nepal is also coming for that. TDP on top has been spotted out there, and TDP on top, he can actually go down in this fight. Is dropped down to 50% HP right now, but will that be enough, as out there players are getting shot at. Doku has been eliminated by DE. They tried to contest DE's spot, but they could not.
Yeah, that is going to be unfortunate. But talking about contesting, Trust Deep Process is not going to be contesting anything. They are going to be taken out of this game. Rising Nepal right now taking on the side of DEJM. T'Challa has been dropped quite low. And here comes player from the side of KS. Sanhok is going to be there, is going to be joining his teammates. Ifti on the high ground is going to come in contact with Wang, is going to drop him. But on the other side, Shagar still with that M24 is going to be wreaking havoc on all the other players. Mysterioso is going to get a kill on Divines. And Shagar, once again, Rival's Trigger is going to be wiped out with that M24 from the side of the man in Elementrix. But DE, they have to be careful this time around, because Rising Nepal is right next to them, Vibes is right next to them, and KS, they are going to be closing in again. Hades is going to drop Elementrix Poo Man, and that rotation from the bridge, we have to see where this entire team went. Once again, this compound is on the right in front of the tri-split that the road does before entering the bridge, and you have to take control of this really carefully. Elementrix being taken out, INES Evil Eye dropped Shaga in the last moments, but now here comes the blue zone. Alex Whitey is already quite low, is trying to run through the smoke towards his teammates. Illusion, he has the high ground. Is he going to spot him? And yes, he does. He is going to drop the player right there. But Rising Nepal, they are going in for the rush, and Nepali Ho Ni are going to be taken out. They know the players are on the rooftop, and going for the third person perspective is not going to spot out Illusion. Illusion is going to drop down, but there are still players present. Prerak is there on the ground floor. He is going to go and try giving revive to his teammate. It is going to be a 1 versus 2 situation right now. Sifu and Wadu are trying to take Prerak out. Prerak, he is quite low, and he's going to be taken down as well, and Rising Nepal are going to take the exit from the game at the 5th position.
I mean, we are down to 4 teams, ladies and gentlemen. 13 players alive out there. TE Wadu sir getting a revive. Obviously, that is an important thing for Deadeyes guys right now. KSX once again making up a mark. Is Erangel their favorite map? I don't know, because this is one team that shines out incredibly well. They have all 4 players alive. They have 8 points for the team. Let's see what position do they land in, or if they will be ending up the day with a chicken dinner out here, as TE is also ready for that thing. Each and every team wants a chicken dinner. INES once again making up a good mark, has 5 kills, and they have dropped down KS Sanhok to a really low HP out here. Ifti is going for it. We'll have to see what Ifti does, but then Ifti has been spotted, but they goes down by KS Miraz. Ifti will try to go for a first aid right now. We'll have to see if that first aid actually pops up in the right time. Evil Eye takes on KS Harid, finishes KS Harid. KS, the team that was in a good spot right now, is down to 3 people. Miraz also goes down. KS is down to 2 people right now, as DE is trying to move in on INES. That can be a third party situation out there. 7C Arus goes for a grenade, does not hit anyone. 7C, INES, DE, and KS. It's a cluster of good teams that are trying to be the best in the final circle.
Yeah, definitely. But KS, the last time they had the ball in their favor, but made one single mistake that costed them the chicken dinner in the game. This time, 7C Pathetic, the nade coming out. Oh, Aruz is going to take out INES with one nade, and Ifti was there to help as well. Aruz gets one, Ifti gets one, and they eliminated him together. But
they shared a whole team out.
Yeah, a whole team being taken out by 2 separate guys. But now it turns into a 3 versus 2 scenario. scenario. 7C with just 2 players, KS is going to be there with 3, and they are just chunking those throwables at each other.
The airdrop is there to help them this time.
Yeah.
I mean, KS, they can have those level 3 helmet and vest and maybe an incredible gun if there's if that is one case with the airdrop out there. But then they need to focus on just one fight as 7C Pathetic spots them. 7C Pathetic just dropped down and he's trying to take up another player if he can. Aruz is on full health right now. He's also trying to give a cover as KS50 takes down 7C Pathetic. KS is taking the fight, but DE, no one can actually forget this team. This team is incredible with its comebacks. They've had a good run in yesterday and a decent one in today. We'll have to see what they can actually pop out with their run as Ifti is in the center right now. Ifti can be spotted by DE. Shifusa. Shifusa is out there. Illusion Sir is also out there. Ifti goes for a shot. He has been spotted now. Vadu Sir from the right end direction can actually spot him, and Vadu Sir spots him, takes him down. KS once again on a bad spot right now. One player has been taken down. Vadu Sir goes down by KS. Meraz in a cover fire. I think DE is making a good situation right now. They are going for the revival, and if they should also go for a revival, but will there be someone, as a circle is not supporting KS? The circle is supporting 7Cs right now in an incredible way. Look at that. Mehraz, Sanhok, 2 players surviving. If a grenade comes in, but that is not going to do much out there as they are safe behind that airdrop. The airdrop is helping them a lot right now.
Yeah. It has been helping them quite a lot, but on the other side, look at this. Pathetic was revived as well, and now 7C, they are going to be quite comfortable, but the throwables coming in once again. The nade is going to do a lot of damage. If he was revived a little bit earlier, but now DE are going to look to close this one out. KS, they are going to be in trouble. The players are going to be revived, but they have to heal up as well. The smokes being popped are going to provide them the cover. DE, once again, the nade being thrown. That just overshot everything and is going to miss its mark. KS, they are going to be pretty much safe from that one, but they have to be careful because at any given moment DE could actually come in charging in, and the smoke is going to dissipate, but Vadu is going to take a hit from Meraz, and that is going to spell trouble from the side of DE. Deadeye guys, can you clutch this one out? 2 versus 3 versus 3. On the other side, 7C, they haven't made a single move yet, but Pathetic is going to get caught out by Ifti trying to run down the slope towards the hill, but Aruz is going to be the only man left standing because Pathetic got finished off by Shifusa. 1 extra free kill being given away. Illusion is going to go in for a flank. Is going to go drop Sanhok. Ifti, the only man left standing. Can he do something? Oh, Ifti is going to be taken out, and 7C is going to be taken out as well by I don't know. He killed him off. Yeah.
And KS Axe comes out second, and DE they took their fight in 2 different directions. Vadu Sir was looking in one direction.
Who killed off Aruz?
Vadu, he was looking in that direction, and Shifusa was looking in this direction, and this was incredible. Like, one team was fighting 2 different teams, and I mean, KS once again finishes second. They could have finished third if Aruz was, spotted a little bit late, but Aruz was out there. I mean, that was thanks to Pathetic. I mean, Pathetic was...
That was a bad movement.
Yeah, that movement actually costed 7C's its game, that they could have come second if anything, but right now that
second or first, because 2 versus 3 is still a dealable situation. 1 versus 2, 1 versus 3 is when they are gonna run in my face and
but
shoot
one
me
of the
down.
best things is all the teams in the first, second and third position, they have good amount of kills. Like KS, the best thing about KS is the team goes for kills. Even if they get eliminated on 16th or they get eliminated on 2nd, they have good kills in them.
Yeah, but that once again has been a gamble for this team so far, because in the earlier stages it did not work out, but in the later stages, as in today, they are putting up an amazing performance in every single game. Apart from one wherein they again got eliminated, I think at 13th or 12th position.
Yeah, on 12th position. That was the previous game or something. But still, Erangel has been their map, to be honest.
Erangel has been, every team practices this a lot. You play this a lot. You start, like every one of us who has been...
Yeah, other maps are not downloaded on your phone, but Erangel is always there.
Erangel is always there. Plus, I believe all these players have been playing these games for quite a time, till before where there were no maps but Erangel.
Yeah, I mean, each and every player, they know their way around. They have their favorite spots, not so favorite spots in Erangel, and it all starts on Erangel, to be honest. And that is one good thing about the game. See, in this particular game also, the zone shifts were tremendous, but then they know their ways around Erangel, so the teams were quick enough. Some teams were quick enough to reach inside the circle and stay inside the circle. As that thing was mandatory for the final fights as well. Yeah,
that was definitely mandatory. But one questionable decision would be Nepali Ho Ni just jumping into the water. A lot of teams taking the water routes this time around. That was actually quite interesting.
Yeah.
And did anyone actually make use of the Nova Bridge?
teams, see, Wolves was taking up a fight with 7C.
Yeah.
They were trying to make the use of Novo Bridge, but they could not out there. INES was out there from Novo. They started from Novo. They were trying to get inside the circle and all those areas. But Novo Bridge was out of the equations after the second circle. After that, it was the military bridge that was out there. So Wolves were taking fight at military bridge. They got eliminated out there on the bridge itself. As 7C's players, Dictator did incredible. His rush was incredible, but then he was late on the shots as 7C's players were getting revived in that smoke cloud. He did not want to give up his location that he was out there. That was one of the things. That was one of the decent decisions that he made. No doubt it cost him the game, but that was something. But meanwhile, let's just talk about the players that actually won the game. I mean, the team that actually won the game, DE, once again having a second chicken in their overall run, if I'm not wrong. And let's see who the MVP is out from that team, to be honest, because I want to see how many kills that player come out, because the amount of kills.
7 and 699 damage.
700, let's call it 700, because that is equivalent to 7 kills, so yeah.
Yeah, 7 kills, 700 damage. Pretty, like, he was knocking them down, he was finishing them off basically on his own. On the other side, 8 kilometers traveled. That is quite a lot. And DE once again putting up an amazing performance. So all these players from the squad have Sir at the end of the name, and I think after this game, pretty much deserve it.
They pretty much deserve it, and they made up their name with their kills and all. But then there are some teams who also had good kills, but they did not come to the position like KS and 7C. So let's actually have a look at the game standings, where each and every team is standing at the end of the final match. As we are talking as Deadeyes Guys, 13 kills. Out of this 13, 50%, more than 50% of the kills is just by one man, and that is just incredible. Yeah, he had an incredible illusion to the others.
Oh yes.
11 kills for KS. This is amazing. 11 is always a number that just stays here. If you remember, like every time Rising Nepal or some other team has 11 kills or something, 25 points for the team. These 25 points, I think, is going to make a lot of difference when we are going to see the overall standings. Team 7C on the third position, INES having a comeback on the fourth position, Elementrix on the fifth. They also had a good comeback. I mean, just 8 points, but a comeback is a comeback. Rising Nepal is out there, but I think in the overall, INES is obviously going to end up at the first position, as Rising Nepal is on the 6th right now. Wolves Gen on 7th, and Rivals X is out there on the 8th position.
Yeah, but moving on to the next 8, we have Jyanmaara on the 9th. Vibes is going to be taking the 10th. Nepali Ho Ni are going to be 11th. Trust D Process is going to be 12th. Hype is going to be 13th. Damn Classy is going to be 14th. Team Xtreme take the 15th spot. And KTM Rage was the first team eliminated, so they are going to be 16th.
Yeah, I mean, they are out there on the 16th spot. But for the first time in all the matches, Hype has had a bad run right now. From first, they had from just second, third position, 5th position, and now they are at this this area. So I think it was something they need to look out when they have to reach through the water areas and all those areas.
And it wasn't just Hype, it was Xtreme as well. And Xtreme has been a strong team, one of the top contenders in the semi-finals, but this time today I think they fell a bit short. But apart from that, let's have a look at the top 5 players for this game and see who all will be joining in Illusion Sir.
I mean, obviously his 7 kills, no one can top that, but then Shifusa. Okay, one amazing thing. The team has 13 kills. 2 kills by just these two players out there. 7 and 6. That is 13. So yeah, that's out there. And KS on the other hand making up an appearance out here with 4 kills for Harith, 415 damage, 7C Demon OP, 4 kills for him, 387, and 3 kills for KSFT, and 734 for them as well. So we'll have to see what happens. But then if we have to talk about head-to-head, we can talk about Illusion Sir and Shifu Sir from the same team, as they had good amount of stats for them individually, and that actually took the team as well on that point. So if we have to talk about it, we can just talk about that. So the performance was brilliant by just 2 players.
The performance was brilliant, but we still have to see between these 2 players as to who was engaging in fights, who was actually risking it more. So let's have a look at the head-to-head between Shifu Sir and Illusion Sir.
I mean,
because looking at those stats will actually tell us who was actually responsible for creating an opening basically for the other one. Because 13 kills for the team, 13 kills on these 2, that means the
7 for
other
1,
2
6 for 1, almost 700-ish damage for both of them. I mean, they were playing toe-to-toe for a good head-to-head, if anything.
Well, could it be that they were having a race amongst themselves?
Like, I'll take kills, no, I'll take kills, I'll take kills, I'll take kills. And the rest all 2 players, you just stay behind, just give us a good cover if you can, and we are going to go for it. But then the performance was amazing by these 2 players, if anything. And yes, we are going to compare the stats from the same team for the first time. 7 kills with 699 and 6 kills with 761. It's a good thing. 167 was the healing of Illusion Sir. 93 for Shifu Sir.
How?
Distance traveled once again. See, this is one thing.
Yeah,
If we are talking about the same team,
Yeah.
the distance travel should be equivalent.
exactly.
But out here, Illusion Sir has a much more distance travel, as he was the first one to barge inside the house when TDP
Yeah.
was taking fight with them. They were the first one to actually barge in, and all those headshots. If we are talking, it's just one headshot
Yeah,
for them.
I want to talk about this. Like, they had 13 kills. That's actually a lot in competitive, in an actual tournament game. And how do you have like under 200 damage on your players? Like one player just healing for 93. But let's have a look at the overall standings. INES is going to be first with 153 points. Rising Nepal is going to be second with 146 points. Deadeyes Guys, they are going to be third with 144 points on them. Team 7C, they have climbed up quite a lot. They are going to be fourth with 127 points. Team Xtreme, they have dropped slightly. They are going to be fifth with 125 points for themselves. Nepali Ho Ni are going to be sixth with 120 points. Jyanmaara are going to be seventh, 118 points. Rivals X, they are going to be eighth with 115 points for them.
As we were talking, that all the teams who have had 12 matches are out there,
Yeah.
and Team Hype getting out of the top 8 out there. They were seventh in the first in the previous standings. Now they are on the 9th. PN Gaming would like to come back and climb back once again tomorrow, as they are in 10th position right now. R3 Devils, another team that everyone would like to see, and TDP as well. Elementrix has had a good comeback, and for the first time, look at that,
Yeah.
KSX. That is one of the teams that was ending at 24th.
Yeah.
From 24th to 15, that is a big jump. That is an incredible jump from this team.
But now, if we move on to the next, the last section of the table, a lot of the teams over here are just sitting with 8 games to their name. Let's go through all of them though. Wolves Den, they are 17, 76 points. Team T2K, 18th position, 8 games played, 63 points. KTM Race, they are going to be 19th, 12 games played, 63 points. Salty Squad is going to be on the 20th, 8 games to their name as well, 58 points right now. Vibes, 21st, 12 games, 54 points. Ultimate Bang, Team Pyro, A1 Esports are going to be 22nd, 23rd, 24th respectively. All of them have 8 games, and the difference is going to be there tomorrow, because now they are in the situation that KSX was in.
Yeah, I mean,
They need to finish like in the top 3 with like
Yeah.
20 points in every single game if they actually want to make it.
KSX did it in 2 games.
Yeah.
Like they were second in both the games, both the Erangels if anything, and they did incredibly well, to be honest. But then let's talk about the 2 teams that are at first and second, but they did not play as per the expectations. Like, they've had low kills today, they've had low chances today, and did not have that much, impact with their gameplays. 63 kills for INES, and Rising Nepal has 54. 15,400 almost for INES, and 12,100 almost for Rising Nepal. I mean, it's a lot of damage when you consider,
Yeah.
but still the impact, the fact where they might be lacking.
Engaging fights, I think. Rising Nepal, initially they started off quite aggressive, but it was that one day where their performances were not going according to their plan, and they just slowed down the pace. And today we saw that as well. The first game they played, they were being pretty aggressive. Second game slowed down a bit. Third game slowed down even further. In the last game, it was like Rising Nepal was not Rising Nepal at all. But moving on from there, let's have a look at the top 10 overall players as well, and see as to where these players stand. Is Badrev still leading the scoreboard? And why do I ask that question? 34 kills, 14 kills between him and the second position holder Sonam.
Like, how can someone just topple that? I don't think so. There's any chance. Like, 7,450 damage points. Like, that is incredible. Incredible is even a small word right in front of what he is doing. Rise Nepal, Sonam with 20 kills, as you said. Hype Dalion, Hype making up an appearance out there with 18 kills for the team P, and Mafia Ninja with 17. No doubt PN is going to play tomorrow,
Definitely,
but then this 34, I don't think so. No one is actually
that is not going to be
topping them.
close.
And Rivals Noob on 5th for now.
And talking about this, Badrev's team, INES, they had 16,000 damage in total.
And
That
7,000
one
is
man
budget.
is 7,500 alone, which is 50% for himself. On the other side, moving on to the next 5, Rated Sir is going to be 6th, 17 kills, 2,200 damage. 7th being taken by TX Demon, 16 kills as well, 3,800 damage. Wolves 6-9 is going to be 8th with 16 kills, 2,900 damage. DE Shifu Sir is going to be 9th with 16 kills, 2,700 damage. And Nepali Ho Ni's Gole is going to be 10th with 15 kills, 3,100 damage.
All right, let's talking about NHN Gole.
Yeah.
There's one person in the production. If you know,
Yeah.
I mean, our director actually gives us a call. His name is actually really similar to him. So it's a huge shout out to the guy who stands behind the camera. I mean, he's not out there right in front of us just
Yeah.
giving us the calls, but then his calls actually mean a lot, and he does incredible job in his job that is out there. So it's a huge shout out to Manoj Gola. So if you guys are still on the stream, just spam hashtag Gole. Hashtag Gole or hashtag
Yeah,
Gola, whatever you
hashtag
want
Gole,
to.
hashtag Gole, yeah.
And also Sandeep. I mean, if you guys know a good pizza place, just spam a good pizza place, a good pizza venture, or anything for Sandeep. He's also an incredible guy who's out there in the production. So yeah, those are two things that we just wanted to go
Yeah.
head out before we just close the show or something.
Yeah, because we are done for the day. We'll be back tomorrow with a lot more action from groups A and C. We'll see you guys tomorrow. You guys come back in, and talking about pizza, we'll grab ourselves some treats. Take care. Bye-bye.